Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finals of the Call of Duty Challengers Optic Texas Open presented by Perifio. It is time for our final two teams to duke it out for the lion's share of $75,000. I'm Infinity. Joining me on the desk here to my left is Proper, and for the final time, I get my directions right.
I'm just happy that you know which side I'm on, finally. I mean, we've gone through about half a season. It takes all the way to grand finals here at Texas to make it happen. A replay of what we had in winners finals, doing it out in here in best of 7 for a grand finals, Brody. I'm excited to get into it.
Well, let's talk about the number 1 seed coming into the tournament here. ESGxRokkr, formerly known just as Rokkr Academy. Of course, they come in towards this tournament with that Electrify Steel partnership. And these guys, I mean, they are just so damn good. Real, Godorex, Panda, and Fame. And really, I think the story for these guys, again, even though they won Season 1 of Challengers Elite, that was an online tournament, they're still looking for that LAN championship.
Second place at Boston, they lost to Decimate Gaming, old Decimate, I should say, who also they had a run-in for that Season 1 Grand Final, so that you know that they have a chip on their shoulder. On top of that, placing top 8 in Season 2 of the Elite as well. Just more things looming over their heads. They're trying to get it done here for the first time. They do not want to be Silver Surfers again.
Yeah, they're absolutely looking to make that big bounce back from what happened in Season 2 of Challengers Elite. They've made a good impression thus far, including beating out Team Notorious in the upper bracket final. But Team Notorious, they're looking to bounce back here. Wee Man, Maple, Eric Boom, and Metals. These guys haven't had the best placement they've had the entire season so far. By even making it to this day, by even making it to this point, they are finally peaking here in Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, I mean, we were all sitting there just talking amongst with the crowd last night. We were like, I think this is the first time Eric Boom's ever made it to a Sunday, let alone the farthest he has placed his entire young career. His first Grand Finals appearance in a LAN environment, and what better way to do it than the teammates that you've been sticking with the entire year, I guess barring Metals. But you feel like for this Team Notorious roster, they've been really dealt a very interesting amount of hands, right? You know, they couldn't play with their full roster at Raleigh, top 12, Parasite subs in, and then they bring in Metals, and then they kind of fall short. Season 1 of the Elite, Season 2 of the Elite looked better, did not get the outcome that they wanted, sure, but man, this Team Notorious roster has been looking better and better as the months have been going on.
Yeah, and I think, you know, a big part of the success is when they are just firing on all cylinders, right? We're looking over towards players such as Eric Boom and Maple that can absolutely go off, but maybe weren't so much present in the upper bracket final where they did fall foul to ESG 3-1. Here's a look at our map set then for this best of 7. We do have some returning maps, 3 as a matter of fact, from the last set. Fortress Hardpoint, LSClo Search and Destroy, and LSClo Control all making an appearance here.
Yeah, the only thing that we won't see is a Fortress Hardpoint. That was map 1 that was played in Winners Finals, but I mean, that's a smart veto if you ask me if you are Team Notorious. You lost that 250 to 157. They looked so good in the respawns when they were going up against Boston Academy in lower finals just not too long ago. So it's nice to see the Hotel and the Mercado make an appearance, at least as an option, but the Hotel Hardpoint will be there for map 4 regardless. The Hydra, on the other hand, is a replay of what was map number 4, and Team Notorious only scored 129 points. It was this map mode combination, Brody. Rokkr ESG just looked so damn good. Triple AR setup with Fame, Panda, and Godorex on the same team. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to battle against.
Yeah, and as I said, the big problem when we look over towards that first map in the best of 5 was really just that Team Notorious just didn't come out swinging at all. They've been so reliant on being hyper-aggressive players. Metals and Eric Boom have had so many incredible moments this tournament thus far, but when it came to that face-off over there in the upper bracket final, they just came out so flat. So things need to be different here as we get towards the grand finals, folks. Again, there's a lot of cheddar on the line, and I think a lot more, especially if you're Electrify Steel. But Team Notorious now, we'll see how they get going here. Starting off on the better side of the map, the first wave of gunfight is not exactly in their favor.
Team Notorious starting off on the favorite side of the map, as we were talking about here, Brody, loading into this one. Going to be a tough one if you are ESGxRokkr to be able to battle through P1 and maybe get themselves those spawns. You see there in the lower third, first lane grand finals for both Metals and Eric Boom. The Spaniards for Team Notorious making an appearance here in grand finals, but their spawns are under threat already, Brody. Look at ESG maneuver across the map.
And Godorex just trying to get some scrap time here, using that heady that's just so annoying to deal with to take down Eric Boom. The man just sits over towards P3, thinks that he can maybe get him on an exit frag, but won't do so. Electrify Steel, really good spot for them here as Panda now on 5 in a row. Has not died yet so far in this hardpoint. And a reposition around this back rock area. Try and provide some coverage so that Team Notorious cannot get through. Still going to go for it, though. From up high comes Metals to take him down. And now threatening around the backline here are Team Notorious. This has been a really big break for them. Been the opening 50.
Still a lot of time left to battle over here. ESGxRokkr, more than aware of it. I mean, just look how fast they just swarmed. They understood fully that they had numbers on this side of the map. Real finds the first 2 Panther for the last. This is a good 30 seconds. You're still in the early stages of this map number 1, so you're going to take any lead that you could possibly get, especially with the veracity that ESGxRokkr have been breaking a lot of teams in their hardpoint setups all weekend long. So Team Notorious, they chalk it, got to set themselves up mid-map. Already dealt with Panda over by the water side. They just have to make sure that nobody comes across that P5 area of the map itself. One player's blocking the spawns, the rest of Team Notorious waiting for the entrance.
A nice first kill, though, coming up from Fame in the middle. I'll open up space for ESGxRokkr to make his way through that market square, but he does actually fall. So now a lot more riding on this push around from behind from Fame. And he rips down Metals from this backline, now spawns in for ESGxRokkr as well. So 2-2 split for this one for Electrify Steel. Completely removed from the hardpoint almost immediately at Team Notorious, and now they have to hit this again. You do not want the same thing that happened in map number 1 to happen once again. You do not want to find yourselves well out of depth, and Real really started to provide some coverage around the front line. A double for Kim, but it is Metals and Eric Boom who have somewhat of a response for Team Notorious. They keep themselves in the conversation for the kill. Nobody touching at the moment.
Yeah, and this is just as good as generated time if you are ESGxRokkr, because Team Notorious, again, went all in for this P3 rotation. They were looking for maybe about 40 seconds or so. They're going to have to feel okay with about 30. Unless these 2 players that spawn in, Fame, Real, they're actually moving their way in towards the back. ESGxRokkr is there to help things out from the front side on rotation as well, Brody. And honestly speaking, you're going to be quite frustrated if you are Team Notorious. Yeah, you stayed in the workings of that P3 hardpoint, but Metals, Eric Boom can only do so much. You got the close spawns. It was more felt like a spawn trap than it was anything, and ESGxRokkr maintained their lead.
There hasn't been significant time yet for Team Notorious. That's really been the problem, and now that problem, I think, will be accentuated even more here as they've currently lost control over this next hardpoint. This is not an easy one to crack because of those back spawns. They got to make sure they get around the back line here. Now Metal's going to synchronize alongside Eric Boom for a couple of frags. That should influence the spawns, and that is a great break coming through from the European squad, but it's not over yet. ESG spawning up in the middle of the map. Real going to pick up 2 on the cut. These guys now starting to face the pressure, and ESG really in this position is trying to fight this one from the front. ESGxRokkr providing that coverage from top ruins. Nice shots on towards Eric Boom. Moves Notorious from the hard point here for the moment. And yet still ESGxRokkr just trying to basically snake the air at that point to try and win some gunfights. Not going to happen here, so a crucial chunk of time for Team Notorious.
Yeah, big P4. Required P4, I would say, for Team Notorious. Again, if you get broken up, if not just being able to soak up the majority of time here on P4, there was going to be some amount of question marks that were coming into over by P5. And even ESGxRokkr, like, they don't relent. They keep on hitting the old time, making Team Notorious feel very uncomfortable. Real's going to call in the cruise missile. It's going to open things up here. But you do have the safety net if you are Eric Boom. He's inside the hard point. He's all by himself. Weeman gets cut down mid-rotation as well, so Fame's not going to hit this from the ruin side.
And get a little bit of information as to where these players are located inside the hard point off the back of that cruise missile. I'm now going to use it to break on through, and that's exactly what will happen. Team shot's good now for ESG, and it's going to be Fame doubling up 3 in a row for him now as they break in for the back 30. Notorious will need to give this one more crack. They know it as well. Can't just sit there pre-aiming and giving a crucial amount of time away. Coverage is good from ESG. Fame looking towards the middle. That's 4 in a row for him. Finally will be cut down now as Team Notorious. I think it's Metals now starting to challenge inside all, but again, just gets overwhelmed there. Big 1v1 won by his Spanish brethren in Real. And at the back of the first rotation, right now, ESG, they're in a commanding lead in this game.
Yeah, the SMGs are just absolutely teeing off right now. I mean, Fame 15-9, 13-6 for Real on a map like Hydroelectric. No easy feat, especially with the playstyle that is Real. Pander also at 11-8. ESGxRokkr can just kick his feet up, anchor out some spawns, and communicate to his team where they need to be looking to next. Going in towards the second set, double the amount of score line, more or less, that ESGxRokkr hold over Team Notorious' head. ESGxRokkr goes for a little bit of a dive, a little bit of a swim. He's trying to wait for his teammates and maybe find some semblance of coverage to help things out. So ESGxRokkr doesn't like what he saw. He's going to poke out on another pond. And it was all for naught.
A good effort from ESGxRokkr. Sometimes you're just trying to find the best water route here on Zarko Hydroelectric. Not going to get it there. Notorious holding on to this time. And a really good opportunity then for them here to get back in towards this game. If they get this last 20 seconds and if they get the rotation secured, they will be okay. Maple's still fighting for some time here. Has 3 players from Electrify Steel to face down, and this is just a lot of different directions to look. Maple able to get one, but no more than that. And as we turn our attention towards the rotation with Weeman picking up a double, there's one annoying player from Electrify Steel that will actually be dealt with by Metals in the backline. So Notorious now, a door open in towards this game.
Yeah, this is actually a really big P1 to P2 rotation coming through from Team Notorious again, being able to deal with all the players for ESGxRokkr, holding them at the front doors of Red, and then also Metals has been the route man all year long for Team Notorious, but just like that, snap of a finger, GodRx Panda, they find 2. Maple looking to recover the situation, does have Weeman's assistance, the spawns will maintain, but we're still scrapping for the hill.
Yeah, still not the kills desired here for Electrify Steel, and at some point you do have to ask the question, when do you actually want to focus on the rotation towards the next? Fame. Gonna look to try and get any of the players making their rotation away towards the next hill. Nade's going over the top, but the trophy systems inside should be good to protect them from that. A couple of shots out there from Fame. Makes Weeman weak enough that Real can come in and finish the job, and now it's just Eric Boom all alone, isolated inside for the back 15 seconds. Again, big 15 seconds for Eric to take down, and I thought perhaps more importantly here for Notorious in this situation, again, rotation being won here from them.
What a flip of the cards this second set has been so far for Team Notorious, doing everything that ESGxRokkr essentially did on their first set. Because you called it, Brody. They are on the rotation again. They're winning the gunfights. They're going to get themselves set up over inside P3, much like how they did in the first set of hardpoints. The difference is there's going to be a lot more assistance over towards the outside, over by this pipe jump. And his name is Weeman. He finds the first. They hit mostly from the front. Still finding success, keep in mind you.
It's unfortunate nade there from Eric Boom, but it's okay because Maple and Weeman are there to pick up the slack. Weeman pushing all the way through now. Already got 2 in a row. Looking for some more, and the player that's just sitting around the corner, GodRx, is being tagged up so much that he has to kind of just wait, but another player goes down. Now he knows he needs to get involved in the hill, just cannot get it done. And my oh my, these last 3 hard points from Team Notorious have been insane. They've got the vast majority of time of pretty much every single one. The rotations have been excellent, and the 3 players that I was concerned about going into the second set, Andy, Maple, Metals, Eric Boom, all of them have stepped up.
Yeah, Maples has had an incredible turnaround for Team Notorious, and it really does mean that the cornerstone of this team can start finding further in success. When Maple isn't doing well, the rest of the team tends to struggle. Eric Boom Metals going to start benefiting from Maple being able to anchor out and at least go 1-for-1 in a lot of these situations. So is Weeman, by the way. 23 and 19 now for him. Eric Boom's there to at least find the third for another rotation secured. They dealt with ESGxRokkr in towards the back, so now they can turn their attention to the front.
What an incredible set this has been from Notorious. Now to hold yet another full 60 off the back of this hill. Things not exactly going swimmingly, though. Fun fully intended. Panda and GodRx able to draw 2 bloods there on their offense towards this hill. Eric Boom now just going to back away here for the moment. Has the assistance of Maple around that back line, and Notorious now should be good as Maple picks up 2 to break the 200-point barrier. Again, we have to keep on saying it, Andy. What a change in the wins this has been for Notorious in this game, and it might even get better as well as Weeman and Eric Boom, they're already starting a challenge towards the new hardpoint, but fortunately for Electrify Steel, GodRx and Real, they're good to take it.
They'll have the initial setup, sure. But you need a full 60 off of P5 to bring yourself now back into the game through ESGxRokkr. Gosh, I didn't think I was going to say that, especially how the first set of hard points went. But to your point, Brody, there's something in the water in Team Notorious. They are thirsty. They're going to be spawning out, however, as the first 20 seconds get secured for ESGxRokkr. Can Maple find an entry? No, he cannot. He lost his AR duo along the way.
You can take your time with this if you're Team Notorious. Don't get too hasty with it. Else around the flank. Might well be able to catch Fame off guard, but it's not going to happen there as Fame rips him about. Now Maple, I think, feels the urgency around the front line as he goes down as well. GodRx now on 5 in a row. Fame and Real also on 5 between them. This is a big kill from ESGxRokkr. We talked about it. They wanted to have a full 60 off that hill. That is exactly what will happen, but the job is far from done. With 15 seconds left now, they're not in control of the map.
Well, GodRx has the angle from the top plat of Jenny. Sees Weeman at least cross, but he's searching for that 6 kill. 22 and 17 now for GodRx. Has also turned this game around. Has had to step up to the slaying factor where Panda has kind of fallen off, if you ask me. But let's see if he can get that 6 kill across the bridge. The communication's there. Escaping through the water. Weeman's still alive. GodRx has a knife in the water. Oh my god, he's going to be able to at least slice up Weeman inside the water. 6 kill accrued, but still so much to do.
I didn't see that coming, did he? In the end, though, Notorious will be the ones holding on towards this hardpoint. Eric Boom for the double. Now just 30 seconds away, and ESGxRokkr did earn that spree. He's going to bring it right down. Are there any trophy systems on the kill to protect them? I don't think they are. That's why they're backed away towards Dome side. Again, the problem is there's only one player actually close towards the hardpoint. Panda has a lot to do. He can only pick up one frag, and so again, a crucial 20 seconds here. Electrified Steel can't really afford to give this up, but again, you look at the map control right now for Team Notorious. They're looking pretty sweet for a PT rotation.
Real for 2. He's starting to push all the way through L on a 3 spree, 27-21. He finds another one off screen. Now, he should be more than aware, all of ESGxRokkr, they are still spawning out. So now you're going to step off the old hard point there on P1 and just flood all the way through. Pander's the last alive, has ESGxRokkr's assistance, and the spawns have flipped for new.
Yeah, that was a 4 spree from Real off screen, by the way, to completely flip the sides. Eric might have gotten 2, but ESGxRokkr, they had a response in kind. And now through the water goes Notorious. Wee Man, you got to come up for air, buddy. If not, you're going to drown sooner rather than later. Finally does at the very last second. Here we go. Over towards this one. Manages to catch him off guard. A kill for a Wee Man. Team Notorious, they're in now for the final 25 seconds. The spawns have flipped once again. Electrify Steel have to hit this through Dome side. Get somebody in the water if you can. Wee Man taken down by ESGxRokkr though. They're knocking at the door. ESGxRokkr, can they get through? Eric Boone for the double. ESGxRokkr will double up for himself as well, and now will touch.
ESGxRokkr has to stay alive. He gets the turn. He gets the information as well. Takes down Wee Man on a 4 spree. Eric Boom's there to at least find one. The rotation is on. Team Notorious have the close spawns. ESGxRokkr cannot soak up all of the hardpoint time, but they are spawning in Narnia, Brody. They have to cut through the map so wicked fast.
Yeah, I don't think there's much room for decision making here. Much time at all to anything but just run at the hardpoint. And it's being watched. All the different lanes are being watched there. Metal's going to win one over towards the generator side. Through the front comes Fame, but just no time. Team Notorious. They look like they might be out of their depths in the first set, but as soon as we hit that second, I think it was, 3 to 4 kills in a row when Notorious had full control. I think that was really the dagger for Electrified Steel on that one.
Learn, adapt, and overcome is what Team Notorious had to do through the second set. I mean, I said it as a joke. I was just like, well, now they just have to do what Electrified Steel did, but better. And, well, they absolutely did. Their breaks, their setups, everything else in between, so sublime. I mean, ESGxRokkr gave themselves a real good shake just to bring themselves back into the map fully there towards the end of that set of hardpoints off of a miraculous P5 and got her X's spree. But, man, did Wee Man turn things around for Team Notorious? Was really leading the charge through the second set. And as we were talking about, Mabel had an immense turnaround. There was at one point where he was like 7-16. He finishes 22-26, 28-29 for Wee Man. Say what you will about Metals, 19-29. That is the route man, and he was getting paid with those spawn flips that were occurring time and time again. Say what you will. Real absolutely got one stolen away from him. I mean, 3,300 damage for the kid is no easy feat on a map like Hydroelectric for a hardpoint. In an AR's playground, he's just an SMG living in it, man. But this Team Notorious squadron, it's something we've always ended up talking about, is their overall cohesion, their teamwork, composure, more words. They put ESGxRokkr on blast as they take map 1.
Yeah, the thing is with this Team Notorious roster, again, we kind of go back to Season 2 of Challengers Elite during the group stages specifically. I think they went flawless in their respective group over towards Elite. And the reason they were able to do that, the reason we saw those improvements from Season 1 of Challengers Elite is because we were seeing every single player coming out firing in all cylinders. Again, that was absent in the first Hydro hardpoint in that upper bracket final. We had 3 of the 4 players all negative in that game, and I was concerned. I'm not going to lie. I saw, I think it was at the end of the first set when those same 3 players were negative once again. It felt like we might be looking down the barrel of a repeat for Notorious, but it did not happen. A proper resurgence from them, and they start this best of 7 pretty darn well as they now go 1-0 up. But next up, we have that double repeat that we were talking about. LSELO Search and Destroy is up next.
And it's interesting that LSELO Search and Destroy is even a map mode combination that we'll see from Team Notorious in general, just because they didn't play it, they didn't show it at all throughout the entirety of Season 2 of the Elite. So to see it here, especially in such a high-tense situation, is interesting again and gets accentuated because, like you were talking about, Brody, now we have a repeat of our map 2 and our map 3 here in the grand finals. Last time that we played this map mode combination, Notorious won 6-4, and again, it was the, as you like to coin them, the usual suspects, right? I mean, you get Maple with the sniper rifle. He's just picking off people left, right, and center. Probably the best sniper that we have in European challengers to this very point in time. But nonetheless, he also has an immediate assistance because Eric Boom and Metals were absolutely feasting on that map mode combination, backed up by the AR and sniper pressure.
That's the big thing for me, man. I look over towards this Notorious roster, and we always have this conversation about who is the best sniper in Challengers, right? And there's a lot of names that you could throw in the hat. Ironically enough, I would say 2 of them are in this lobby, in Maple and Panda, because Panda's snipers also pretty good in Search and Destroy. But I might actually be of the persuasion that it's Maple now, to be honest. His snipes, especially during that hotel Search and Destroy, I think it was against Boston. Oh, I felt like I needed a shower afterwards, to be honest with you. But it was kind of disgusting even watching it. Being in the game, I can't imagine how it felt. Maple is just incredible with the sniper rifle, and the amount of space he creates in his positions is what makes Notorious just so dangerous in Search and Destroy. Again, the good news is for ESGxRokkr, though, they're the kind of team to know that's what they need to eliminate. That's what they need to be dealing with. And I think, again, you've got the advantage in a way of having a player like Real on the team that's like, yeah, I know what they do well enough. I know I've been against these guys in the European scene before. I know where the strength lies in Search and Destroy for these guys. So I think they're going to know about that. I'll be intrigued to see kind of what the adaptations look like here in Search and Destroy to prevent those same kind of results from that first best of 5. Because, again, this was the only map which they managed to take away when they lost 3-1.
Well, don't forget that there's been a lot of time spent here in Texas between the winners finals when these two teams played last into grand finals, that if I was ESGxRokkr, specifically if I'm Coach Silly, I'm going back and I'm rewatching at least that VOD as quickly as possible and as slowly as possible to try to learn from those mistakes to have a steep turnaround, because you had to have assumed that if you're playing against Boston Academy, Rokkr Academy would probably end up taking that one. They would have a much superior map set depending on how that team would end up showing up. But to lose a map versus Team Notorious, a lot of us didn't have on the cards, much less how close they even kept it throughout the entirety until they won the final 2. But even more so than that, Brody, I think that ESGxRokkr, the ESG combination, man, if you are allowing yourself to play this LSELO Search and Destroy, you do have to go back to your basics. This is what made this map mode combination so good for them, like we were talking about in Boston and through Season 2. Watch out for Real and Fame hitting through the mid-map.
Yeah, how fast can ESGxRokkr get here? That's the question from me. And, well, ESGxRokkr getting very fast. Real's going to be in that usual position that we expect him to be in. This is kind of curious in a way, because I remember us kind of criticizing ESGxRokkr for not doing this all the way back in towards Boston, I think it was, in the grand finals. It's a kind of a reason why they didn't win against Decimate in that game number 7. But now they've learned. Real's going to be sitting inside a site.
He's realistically the only person inside of the site. He does have assistance. You can see Fame is clearing so much, and now join player number 7 is ESGxRokkr. Weeman gets first blooded, which means that Eric Boom, who was previously stunned up in the stairwell, has to play his life for now. Wait for dead silence, maybe, and then make a move.
Yeah, Eric has to be the playmaker in this situation if anybody's going to be so. Ash has a little bit of space to go behind. Straight down towards the A site if he wishes. Nobody would stop him. But now I think that play might be a little bit late, even if he pulls it off, because Metals has already gone down. Bomb now. Back right in front of Real. The shot's through the couch, a little bit wide, but it's okay because Eric gets the kill in the end. And now we'll retrieve the bomb. Time not on their side, though. Maple's coverage has to be perfect with this pistol as that player enters. There we go. Now going to pick up the fast F as well. Will not be able to dial up just yet, but the bomb is down.
Oh, this is such a good play. And Eric's playing inside the site. It looks like ESGxRokkr has actually snuck his way in. Pander's going to go for the long wrap around back billiards, and Maple is holding his irons. This is the timing. Maybe saw him. That's a big kill to find for himself. ESGxRokkr laying down. That's just good information if you're Eric Boom in this 1v1.
Yeah, ESGxRokkr now has to back away as well because he's made weak from that gunfight. So that's a couple of seconds now that Eric Boom's going to be able to shave off the clock. Now, where does ESGxRokkr go? He's entering through the same place. That door closure is not good. It's the information, but no! ESGxRokkr wins the 1 versus 1, and he has time for the defuse.
That's actually just such a smart 5-head play that's coming through from ESGxRokkr. You close that door because then it's less cover that even Eric can be hiding behind, right? And it's also less momentum that can also stop you because you can hit that door from that chow, and it would come swinging back in your face and kind of slow your sprint jump if you're ESGxRokkr. Just, it's the little things that just makes you stand out sometimes in Search and Destroy. It warms my heart, Brody. But that was about to be an insane 2v odd, considering what Maple and Eric Boom just had to piece together for themselves. Big round 1 nonetheless. I'm sure ESGxRokkr probably wanted that one to be a little bit cleaner, but ESGxRokkr still finds 3 to close it out.
Yeah, brilliant start from ESGxRokkr. Playing Notorious, it was almost a clutch up this time around. Eric Boom, he's going to channel his inner Real, although I say that, it's probably just Eric Boom doing Eric Boom things, isn't it? Hyper-aggressive through the back our area, and ESG's response, getting that bomb down as fast as possible.
And they will get that bomb down. And in a 3v4, nobody's expecting Eric Boom. He popped that silence to start this round, already put himself in the stairwell, finds himself free exit.
Now the situation very tough here for ESGxRokkr, even with the bomb on side. Got a lot of different directions to look. And Team Notorious, I mean, they're all over the joint, aren't they? Found it out. Fame now for the 1v4. This would be spectacular. Gets the double, actually. Checks the bomb now. And does he escape? No. Would have been a perfect route if he managed to make it happen, but is going to be denied. And I like the response from ESGxRokkr there, getting the bomb down in response to losing that first blood. But past that point, again, Notorious just continue to press the advantage.
Yeah, you lose that first blood if you're ESGxRokkr, and you know you're trapped at that point. You know that there's no way that you should just throw your life looking over towards the A courtyard pillars area and just maybe try to swing for a trade. So you try to put the win condition in your court. That is, of course, with the bomb being planted. Just never fully expected for ESGxRokkr to still find his way over towards the billiard stairwell. And just hang tight and just wait for a free kill to come through. That's exactly what he did. Forcing the numbers advantage for Team Notorious, tying things up 1 apiece.
Aggression from both of these teams at the moment. It's not that surprising considering that's kind of where their trademark lies. Will this round be any different? Immediate stuns going out towards Kegs from Notorious. That's a lovely nade. Cross on towards Eric Boom. A follow-up as well being utilized by ESGxRokkr here to take him out of the equation. But inside sight, Real. Bit of an off angle here. Not exactly where they expect him to be. Metal's now going to bring that down with a stun. And Real is just out of position. Runs straight for the gunfight. Takes him down. Numbers now for ESGxRokkr, and Notorious cannot get that bomb anywhere close to 8.
So got Real is lurking inside of the side door. Busts open. Eric Boom sees some shots whiz past his face. And you feel like you got to take a shot somewhere. And that's Wee Man. Shuts down Fame, who's getting a little antsy over towards that top money window. So numbers will subside 3v3.
Curious here. How did Team Notorious handle this one? Because Eric Boom is normally the flanking player. So if he does move through with the bomb and dies, it wouldn't leave them in the best spot. But he is going to do that. Silence now will deplete. Gets Panda. Now Real and got a Rex. Yeah, still moving for A here. Might be able to catch Real off guard. He's sitting in the corner. Spots him out. Eric Bound now going to be down. No immediate trade there. Maple should be able to take him down, but he just pre-aims. I think he just heard the player that's up top. Not the right positioning to pre-fire there. That is unfortunate. Good effort from Team Notorious to try and flank their way back through the round, but it doesn't work.
It's so tough in that split-second call, right? I mean, if you're Eric, you find that free kill of Pander up top who just barely hears the door creak. You saw Pander just turn around knowing that he heard something behind him. But the dead silence keeps Eric's sound muffled, and when he finds that free kill, you were almost sitting there hoping, if you're a fan of Team Notorious, he was going to continue to hit all the way over towards B. We know because of Codcaster that site was completely empty. There's no way that Team Notorious were going to expect them with that a lot of time on the clock for them to be able to fully commit over towards B. So they full flood in A, and Real just stays alive long enough for the last player to get the kill. Got our X 5-1.
Shots going out now. Eric Boom, fortunately going to lose the first blood. So ESGxRokkr off the back of that have a lot of autonomy in this round. Wee Man, I will crash the party here. No dead silence to work with. He's making a ton of noise. He's probably been heard. And actually, no, never mind. Panda doesn't hear him in that situation. Wee Man's able to get that kill. Of course, he was a little bit weak going into the engagement. Yet still, Wee Man is still the player to blow this round wide open. It's exactly what he does. Has an inkling as to where the last player is as well, but I don't think he knows he's directly behind, and off the back of that, Godorex probably going to be able to trade it out, and there it is.
Godorex now on 3, 6-1. Needs to get on a recovery mission as well, and doesn't have all the time in the world to do it here, Brody. That bomb is dropped just outside of Kegs. And Godorex is going to be making a lot of noise. He doesn't have the pleasure of waiting for dead silence. He just has to go.
Godorex being tagged up here, down to 19 HP. He's relying on a paper thin. Yeah, the stun is good. I don't think there's any way you're winning that gunfight, though. Again, it's just such a kind of like a very short amount of space in which you can actually like pop out of that. Even the stun's not going to stop that player from winning the 1v1.
I mean, Maple was one shot. Maybe like a headshot away from getting that kill. I'm not sure, man. You never count one of these players out. They've been snapping, not to mention how Godorex, that's only his second death through 4 rounds of play, so. Even Stevens going into round number 5. Just the grand old tussle of who can get control of the middle bottom of the A building has been at a fine stalemate. One player for the offense of Team Notorious are slowly encroaching across this open field. It's going to be Eric Boom. Does not have that silence. He's going to eat a nade.
That should slow everything up here for Team Notorious. They've got to deal with Fame up top AC. Eric probably well aware of that fact. Slowly peeking out, gets the shots through. Eric survives the engagement at least. That leaves them pinned into that corner. Gonna have to back away here, and also Vayne now getting the information as to where Metals is, tagging both of these two players. Notorious are trying to get something moving, but they just aren't able to get anything going at all. They've got no map control whatsoever. They know where the guys are, but again, I mean, what do you do when you've lost a man already?
Yeah, you've lost a man already, and you can't necessarily act upon of the information that you previously got because you're eating damage along the way. The Semtex will actually connect for Metals, but what do you get off of this? Dead Silence is popped. You got Maple that's over by this archway. But he doesn't end up seeing, I don't think he saw ESGxRokkr. He's up top money, and he's going to find Eric Boom seemingly for free.
Maple's the playmaker in this round. If anybody's going to do it, it's got to be him. He just used Dead Silence as well. There's the first blood. 15 seconds left, though, as he reveals his position. He wanted to double up, ideally. He does do so now, 2 versus 2. Maple's still an opportunity to get another one here. There's a player sitting in that corner. The stun is good. The nade should connect as well. It won't do just yet, but Fame's going to stop the bomb planter. And now with 5 seconds left, Maple desperately hunting for this kill. He might well find it. Around the other side. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Just looks the wrong way. If he kept on going in that direction, might well have had the time.
Oh. Look up COD timing in the dictionary, and you'll get a little Harry Potter picture that moves of what just happened right there on the screen. That is, woo, man, that is unfortunate. Really did think there for a second that Maple was going to make the play. I mean, he had all the right reads. You ended up having at least the trade on the ESGxRokkr. Maple was able to at least find the next. It's just Fame that makes the heads-up play, man. As he knows that the only play that they have is maybe get over towards A, plant that bomb, even going 1-for-1, force the game clock. ESGxRokkr might have just stolen one away. Team Notorious, though, they are aggressively flooding into Billiards.
Yeah, this is great from Notorious. Again, great response. Real, overwhelmed there. Nothing you could do. Stuck in the mud. I think that's just a general feeling for Electrify Steel Rocker at this point in time. Fane, though, on a position. Oh, I was going to say Eric Boom didn't expect it, but he bloody well did. Picks him off. And now a 2 versus 3 here for ESGxRokkr. The bomb has to be retrieved. This is a really not great position, to say the least.
No, it's really not. Bomb retrieval mission, step 1. Trying to get over towards the bomb site seems impossible. Team Notorious, though, they have isolated themselves to watch just about everything. ESGxRokkr is expecting someone to maybe encroach on this red tower. He'd be wrong. Really just banking on Pander to be able to not only find his first kill in the search and destroy Brody, but he'll find one for free. They'll also continue to make a play around the back. His Dead Silence is running out very quickly, and ESGxRokkr is making moves.
Now, this is still possible, to be fair, for ESGxRokkr, especially as Panda now has that backline area, but ESGxRokkr goes down, and now it is up to Panda here. Looking for 2 more. Should get taken out by Metal. Maybe not. 15 seconds left, though. The onus is really on Panda to do something in this situation. He's making so much noise. He's just trying to draw these players out. Get a free kill. Get something out of this situation. The stun is put down by Metals. It doesn't even need to connect as they take him down. And back and forth we go, handshaking rounds.
You can just feel the tension in all of these rounds, even in the first 30 seconds when First Blood comes through. Remember that Team Notorious, they started this round off with just a full flood through the bottom side of the building. First Blood comes through, it gets traded out, and just we come to an immediate standstill. Well, 40 seconds passes until a move is made. Both these teams just understand what's at stake, not willing to give up information for free. Plays need to be made and some explosivity on the side. 9-2 for Maple. Offense now for Team Notorious as we are tied going into round number 7.
First utility thrown out for both of these teams. Eric Boom, the victim of one. Oh, gets away from that Semtex that lands right in front of him. Elsewhere, Maple, effective with the sniper rifle. It kind of feels like he's been under the scope a little bit. At 10-2, hasn't really felt obvious in this game, even though he absolutely is doing bits for Team Notorious. Will get that first blood. Now looking for more across the way. It is Fame that would be taken down if he picks out.
And he simply will not. It's not Maple looking to make a Dead Silence play. He pops Dead Silence, does a little jump up. Trying to get on top of the truck, maybe? No. All right. Well, things are just weird now. It's actually to go into the pistol, so I'm thinking that we might just go for a quick little bait and switch as far as this bomb site is concerned, but Maple gets the information late, snaps on the Fame top bricks, ESGxRokkr 1v3.
Should catch Maple. Wee man, excuse me, at least, but Maple pushed all the way up. ESGxRokkr knows that there's no point challenging Maple out when there's that much open space he has to work with. He has to reposition for a tighter angle. That's what's going to happen. Even now, Maple's looking in the right direction here. So GodderX really needs to force it towards sight. That's the plan. Dead Silence now gone, though. The little check comes through, and there it is. Jack Maple. Would you believe it?
I absolutely will believe it, considering what Maple's been piecing together in this LSELO Search and Destroy. Dude has been relentless. Maybe somewhat with the scope. Has been put away ever so slightly. He's been finding a lot of good timings and kills with the AR, picking Vaznevs off the ground. He truly is the jack of all trades. Yes, that was a pun. Yes, I cringed as well. 11-2 now for Maple. 2 rounds in a row for Team Notorious as they take a 1-round lead here in the Search and Destroy after winning map 1 in a pretty reverse convincing way, if you ask me. But how about this as far as a change? Last defense, Brody, they all flooded over towards A. This one, they're giving a lot of respect. They're making ESGxRokkr try to work for some information. Metal's going to be the only one to maybe for a first blood, but GodderX is ready for it with an AR in hand.
Notorious have done that quite a lot. Goodness for them, though. They have got the returning kills. Eric looking for number 3 in the round. And very quickly, the trades have been back and forth in this one. Fame now finds himself in a 1 versus 2. Doesn't have to go on that bomb retrieval mission that we always talk about. He's got it in the back pocket. And also Dead Silence ready to go.
He's going to clear all of this tower. That's full utility to boot. To be fair, he does have a lot of time to exhaust and clear. But are you going to expect that both Eric and Maple have moved over towards your money window? And then Maple, I mean, he's got to be holding a sniper just looking over here, right? You would think he's top house. Did he see Fame cross? I'm not too sure. There's the glint. He's going to get the kill. Team Notorious just on an absolute rampage. Even Fame just sitting there having a laugh. I mean, how would you ever expect that? Just almost feels like a round of control in a way. Maple just pushed all the way over here. The difference, of course, no snipers allowed in the respawn. Fame only so much that he could do there as Maple finds his 12th kill in the search.
It's a joke, mate. Absolute joke. What do you do? Like, what do you do, man? Maple just knows how to play the map so well. Perfect prediction coming out of the last 2 players there from Notorious that rap was happening. Notorious now 1 round away. Taking a 2-0 lead here in this best of 7 grand finals here at the Texas Open. Maple, once again, in that top green positioning, despite the fact that Fame is making his way downtown. He's going to be moving fast pretty soon. Wait, Maple.
Cruise Pistol gets committed. Information nonetheless. Maple still has the sniper. He's going to love to get all this information. That's a lot of smoke. All the way on the opposite side of the fence, you can see that Pander is crossing. All 8 players still alive. Eric Boom with the bomb in hand is halfway up the field.
Yeah, 2 players crossed already. That's the problem for Maple, is these guys, you need to try and pick them off as soon as they keep their head up. Wee Man's actually going to take that kill away anyway. The bomb still have a chance of making their way over towards B, to be fair, but if Eric goes ahead, and again, him being the first player is a big risk, might well make this round fall apart for ESG.
Aim late crossed. Keep late crossed, by the way, so he's not a part of this play. Team Notorious are quickly maneuvering their way into A, and they are brute forcing their way with numbers.
Fame, yeah, as you say, making his way around the back now. GodderX has distracted Eric Boom perfectly. Fame now, as you say, crossing back towards the point. Now Maple in the 1 versus 2 with the sniper rifle. This would be spectacular if he could make it happen, but no. GodderX peeks out at the right time. 1 round at a time here for ESGxRokkr.
Quite literally a single round at a time because they lose another one, Brody. Well, that's the map. Now they're down 0-2 in a grand finals. Well, they entered in from the winner's side of things. What is going on here? GodderX finds his 13th kill as well. It's the game of main ARs, Brody. GodderX and Maple absolutely delivering for their team, but that entire round completely gets flipped on its head if Fame does not rotate at the exact time that he did. He had to stay there and guard the B site after losing his teammate a Pander top AC. Just too much to look at if you are Pander, but quick little directional change from Fame will help things out in that round. Will at least force this round number 10. It'll be ESGxRokkr on offense. Eric Boom is quickly flanking past the house.
ESGxRokkr should be aware of the fact they haven't exactly cleared that field side, but they don't care at this point. They're going to go for the bomb straight down. And that's the best play they could possibly make, and Real now starting to make his way through as well. No Dead Silence to use here, so the flank is unlikely, but they have predicted it. Never mind! Prediction or not, GodderX gets slammed. Eric Boom for that gunfight. Now ESG, they are scattered, they're splintered across the map here. You need to see some crazy clutch coming out of Fame. He goes for 1, not able to double up, and now Panda, the last hope for ESGxRokkr. The kill is good for 1. But the coverage should be better from Maple. There it is. Notorious in the exact same scoreline, able to close out LSCLO Search and Destroy once again.
6-4 once again. Team Notorious able to take map 2 here on LSCLO Search and Destroy. They have a 2-0 lead in this series. And I gotta say, man, that was a gutsy defensive setup for Team Notorious. A really cool one at that. They wanted to play full retake over by A, right? So they completely keep the site open. Nobody's top kitchen. They're just maintaining the flanks on 2 different sides. One flank was maintained because Eric uses Dead Silence and pushes all the way through, gets the player top money for ESG. And Team Notorious just decisively swing their numbers around. Maple is definitely the one that we got to talk about, though. 12-4. No, he didn't drop 80 damage. I'm sure he found a few first bloods. Those stats are just incorrect. But man, picking up the Vaznev, clutching up rounds with his teammates, loading in with an AR, finding returning shots, team shots galore, and even the sniper rifle as well from Jack Maple. Even on the opposite side, too. I mean, Counter-X had a fantastic game. 13-7 was just stuck in the clutch quite a bit. Just could not win as many rounds as ESGxRokkr were once hoping for. As Team Notorious, again, have a very smooth run here in map number 2.
Yeah, I feel like 2 teams really there that do play extremely similar on LSCLO control. You know, we look at ESGxRokkr, you know, again, we talk about kind of what they've been able to achieve in the past here on this map, and a lot of it has been down to playing super aggressive with players like Fame, like Real, just getting up in your face, right? And Team Notorious, I mean, how do they respond to that? Well, they just send Eric Boom flanking pretty consistently. I mean, again, we don't know exactly what the stats are like for the first bloods, even though it says 3. I don't think that's accurate. It still felt like he was pretty much consistently opening with some duels here against ESGxRokkr and winning the vast majority of them as well. So the high tempo plays from Team Notorious, massive clutch plays coming out from Maple with the sniper rifle, again, proving why he deserves to be in the conversation, at least probably pretty highly in the conversation as well for the best sniper we have here in Call of Duty Challengers. Team Notorious now 2-0 up in this one, Andy. This is not going how ESG thought it would.
It's not going how I thought it would either. I mean, if you watched that winners finals and you saw the hardpoint just discrepancy between these 2 teams, you would think surely ESGxRokkr are just going to come out and smoke them in the respawns, get tested in the search and destroy, but I thought we were going to be in and out in about 5 maps. Now I'm not too sure what the heck is going on, because Eric Boom's first Grand Finals appearance, he has got himself a buff. This guy is playing out of his mind. Maple has been here once or twice before. It's just a really good anchor AR. They are giving ESGxRokkr a run for their money, Brody. Having a 2-0 lead coming out from the European region, I did not have this on my bingo card.
Team Notorious, perhaps our first European Challengers champions in quite some time. Looking for the championships here. 2-0 up, just 2 more maps, and they'll get it done in this best of 7 Grand Finals live from the Optic Texas Open. And we'll return on the other side of the break from map number 3. Hey, welcome back here to the Call of Duty Challengers Optic Texas Open presented by Perifio. We're 2 maps deep now into our best of 7 grand finals. And the European squad of Team Notorious here, they seem to have found their footing, a resurgence against ESGxRokkr as they're now 2-0 up.
It needs to be said, right? I mean, we do technically have 5 total Europeans in here. 3 Spaniards, funny enough. One on the opposite side of ESGxRokkr. His name is Real. But the full European team of Team Notorious, how about it? Able to take the first 2 maps here in a best of 7. They are white hot after they just got done being Boston Academy in a 4-map stint in lower finals. The issue is, Brody, and you know we got to talk about the elephant, map 3 in the room, is the El Estilo control. Control in general for Team Notorious has not been good since last night. Honestly speaking, when they're facing up against other top 6 teams here in Texas, they have come up short every single map 3.
Yeah, this is the big problem, I think, for the Team Notorious at the moment. And again, you know, we go back to kind of the OMIT Mexico matchup that we were talking about, like all the way back in the bracket now. It feels like it's been ages ago, eons ago, since we saw that matchup. And that was a win for OMIT Mexico in that series. Then they got Boston Academy. They got 3-0'd in the last series. It's the only map they lost. And I think perhaps more importantly, they lost this map 3-1 to ESGxRokkr in the upper bracket final. It was a massive blow to them. And we talk about kind of the general success that this Team Notorious roster has had in control. It's surprising in a way, right? I know Season 2 wasn't quite as dominant as Season 1, and I know the setting is a little bit different, obviously online versus LAN settings, but still, like, they're a very good control team, and we've always known that to be the case. To kind of see them struggling in control here a little bit is somewhat surprising, but again, they seem to come out here with a very, very different attitude in towards this grand final, so maybe this will be the time for them to find their footing in control.
Better late than never as far as the bracket is concerned, right? Save your best control, I guess, until grand finals when it really does matter, because, I mean, it could be the difference maker in between them getting a 4-0 sweep or ESGxRokkr making their way back into this grand finals as a whole. Last time that they played, El Estilo Control was the map number 3. ESGxRokkr were able to take it 3-1, and it was a lot of fame. It was a lot of pander. It's just everybody from Rokkr Academy in those final 2 rounds were just firing off on all cylinders, able to take an offensive round off of Team Notorious. And the reason why we harp on it so much for Team Notorious is because between both Season 1 and Season 2 of the Elite, as many games as they played, they only dropped a total of 2 controls. They were flawless at the end of Season 1, Brody, in this game mode. Have yet to find their strides here at LAN.
Alrighty, well, Team Notorious, let's see if they can get the control victory versus ESGxRokkr. Quite clearly, they made those improvements to win Hydro Hardpoint after they lost it in that upper bracket final. Maybe things can go better here. Well, so far, not so good as the 3-for-1 trade goes in favor of ESGxRokkr. Maple, big gunfight to win down low in the bar and just cannot get it done. It's nice for Metals to respond at least, but map control looking pretty good for ESG off the rip.
Yep, not bad at all. Also, I've got RX trying to encroach on a further position. He was stuck inside a bush, so he wasn't going to see Wee Man cross over there. So that's a tough gun fight that I didn't really take part in. But ESGxRokkr are just getting in Team Notorious's grill, making sure that they are feeling very uncomfortable and making it expensive before they can even see one of these zones.
Trying to push forward here is Maple. Starting actually pretty well at 3-1. 3-ming up top here for the gunfight. Oh, gets a bad time in there as GodRx doubles up. Takes him down, so not that even that first progression will go through for Team Notorious. Every single attempt has been relatively unsuccessful. Now they need to come up with a plan B, C, D, find a new alphabet at this point, to be honest, because Team Notorious here, not in the best of places. They cannot get anything going in their direction. Wee Man, big 1v1 up top at least to keep Team Notorious an opening over towards A. And that opening now has to be their out here in this round. 20 seconds left. Something needs to get moving, and Wee Man has to be that player. But Fame is shredding through the bar.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Wee Man, you found that entry up top, but Fame was mirroring his rotation the entire time, just down low inside of Billiards. Someone's on the zone. It's going to be player number 3. That's Eric Boom. He does take down Real. So clock is solid out of 14 seconds. A segment will be coming through. We're staying on board with Fame because he's on a 5 spree. And if you can get this early cruise missile, you're going to be absolutely dancing, knowing damn well that it's just one person on the zone. And, well, Fame takes care of him.
ESG clearing space pretty well at the moment. One last surge here from Team Notorious. It has to be an individual effort from Maple, and they just cannot get it done. That's a clean defense from ESGxRokkr. One hit is really all that we see being successful there for Team Notorious. Just the one tick of progressing.
Yep, one hit for one tick. That's just unfortunate. Again, it's just the fluidity that is ESGxRokkr on this El Estilo map, and I know I'm probably contradicting myself after what we just saw happen over on LSD Search and Destroy, but they are normally very good at that one too. It's just, man, the way that Fame just understands the timings off the information for what his teammates are telling him, even off of death cams, his timings to be able to mirror not just one, but two rotations off the respawns of Team Notorious is just absolutely ballistic. He's going to have a nice kill streak in name of a cruise missile to come to this offensive round.
Notorious really need a response in kind. It needs to be just as solid here on their defense. ESGxRokkr, though, starting pretty strong again. Fame is 11-3 off the start between these first two rounds. Needs to be taken out for Team Notorious, and Fame just going to use the cover four. Now whips out off timing against Maple. Maple does not expect that. Now ESGxRokkr, they're on the point. Notorious going to give this one good defensive try. But Metal's partner in crime there on the entry in towards the point will fall, and now I think Metal's going to give this a go, actually. Good effort versus ESGxRokkr, but again, it was futile because ESG, they've got the point.
60 seconds out on towards the board. A life lead is being dented as Maple will take down Fame. At least that's one forward player. Maple's also, or I'm sorry, Weeman, excuse me, is trying to take further space, getting towards that house. But while that's happening, his teammates are dropping in towards his own backline. Eric Boom also gets taken down by Real inside of lockers. Maple spawns up over by Pride Rock. ESGxRokkr is going to try to clear it.
ESGxRokkr will actually get that kill as well. Things not looking so hot here for Team Notorious because ESGxRokkr can now kind of clear some more space towards the backline. But kills actually coming in through here for Team Notorious around the middle of the map. Metal's going to be responsible for that one. He's really the only threat alongside Weeman over towards House. Now Fame going to move towards the middle of the point. Metals goes down again. Weeman still over towards House, but ESGxRokkr don't really have to be too concerned about it. They're now starting to make that progress happen on the point. It is just Fame stacking at the moment. Coverage being provided by Rail inside the window, and Real's going to pick up that gunfight as well. First tick, now going to be through.
They finally dealt with Real top barbecue as well. There was no trophy system to keep Fame alive from, or I guess safe from any of those tacks or throwables in general that Team Notorious were throwing at them. And that's a great call that also came through from Eric Boom. Yeah, he's 3-11, but the fourth time that he was about to get spawn trapped and spawn killed, he loads in with an AR, knowing that he spawned on top of Maple over by the side of Pride Rock. So he had to take that long-range gunfight. He got Pander out initially. And it was just slowly yet surely for Team Notorious to get themselves back over towards this zone. But they don't have all the map control in the world. And here comes that kill streak that Fame earned back in round one.
It's going to land on towards Maple. Space now cleared, and Real wins a gunfight against Weeman in the middle as well. So Eric now at 3-12. Needs to step things up. This is the time to make some individual efforts happen. First is through. Player now going to be on the point here in the form of ESGxRokkr. You don't get any A through the fence, but Eric Boom doesn't need it there for that gunfight. Takes ESGxRokkr down and is threatening now for this two-piece, but now starting to face some pressure himself. It's Fame, it's Panda, it's all kills around here for ESGxRokkr. There's just one more player in the backline to deal with. It's Metals, but the stack should be good for ESG. Two players on the point. The second tick will be good. Ooh. Fame will peek out actually and gives Maple that frag. So now it is just Panda and Real around this point. Notorious players trying to find their way through, but it is a flurry of kills. Real for the double, 3 in a row for Kim, and ESGxRokkr, an offense for them. Now 2-0 here in this control.
I mean, bold call there from Fame, who takes that chow towards top rock with a Vaznev of all things. But here's the closing of that round. If you're Real, okay, Weeman was weak. I thought he just got the entire kill with the pistol. That just would have been nutty. But everybody focus over on Pander, who's on dice. That is a problematic player that you have to cut through. You can wall bang through that fence line. You saw that from Pander's POV as he moves up to 7-6. Real and Fame, the SMG duo of ESGxRokkr, are showing up in a massive way. 30 kills between the two of them. Just absolutely having their way. On the opposite side, nobody really stepping up massively. I mean, Metals and Maple, they have a combined 16 kills, but a combined 23 deaths. So this offense has to stick. Do not want an 0-3 on another control for your resume here at Texas.
And Eric Boom and Metals, they try the flank. Real, he's read it perfectly, though, almost snaps on towards the second, but Eric Boom will hold on. Now Notorious, they've cleared all the space over towards B. They'll be able to start get this capture through. I'd imagine there should be a double stack at least from Notorious to get this one going fast. Instead, they're just focusing on being in off angles at the moment to catch ESG players off guard. Eric Boom pushed forward, though, unable to get anything beyond just a couple of shots in towards those players, and only one tick because of how slow they were capturing this point. And I think as his teammates die around him, Maple realizes he's probably just better served just moving away from that point, try to catch some of these players off guard and go over towards A.
Nobody's touching the zone yet, though. So if you're ESGxRokkr, you're still searching for information. They run into Maple down low. Maple has to get snappy down here. Weeman Metals, though, able to go 2 for 1. Weeman's up towards the tower, so now that calls for Maple to touch the zone.
Yeah, they should be able to get A here if all goes well. Got to make sure you watch your flanks, though. And as an acting one, Real down for the count now as Metals now starting to get these kills. Metals starting to heat up. That's 3 down for Team Notorious here. They should get the stack through, but they also have the opportunity to move through towards B. Metals is that guy. Unfortunately, though, a lovely stick from Real comes through. He will be down for the count. The Team Notorious, off the back of that play, only down to just 2 players on this point here for the moment. ESGxRokkr, if they want to, they could still stop this. Panda is going to go for it, but it's just a little bit too late. Instead, we'll have to settle for the exit frags. And to be fair, that's not terrible. They win pretty much every single gunfight. Metals, the closest player alive.
That's the right call out of the 2 if you are ESGxRokkr. Yeah, you could have probably stalled it out. You might have lost a lot more lives, but most importantly, you would have lost map positioning. So you just set yourself up in the middle of the map. You just play for a couple of exits. But Metals has been heating up here in this round number 3. As SMG gameplay in and around from that green side of the building is just so good. To help Team Notorious get closer towards that A zone and to add 60 seconds added on towards the board. He's also able to get Maple up towards top barbecue, which is a very powerful position if Team Notorious can move their way across field and touch this zone.
And dmtrappin not in the best position here, needs to provide some coverage for his teammates. Just back away. Good reposition as well as he gets some shots in towards Weeman, pushes him out of position now as well. This is really good across the board for ESGxRokkr. Fame going to take down Maple. Team Notorious, they're looking for something certain around that back bricks area, but as a couple of players fall now, they're going to have to make their way across the respawn, and ESGxRokkr have got all their angles covered. Real's pushed up towards the house. dmtrappin inside the point as well. Wins another crucial gunfight. Every single effort the Notorious are making to try and filter players through, they're not getting through. They're being called out.
Running into a brick wall continuously. 16 points up against 10, but you're not necessarily worried about the lives. You're more or less just worried about trying to convert this offensive round because it might just be your last. 12 seconds remaining. 1 player's in from the back. It's going to be Eric Boom off screen. He's going to take down Pander. Now dmtrappin's pinch on the zone. He has to press forward.
Yeah, he's got a double, like, beautiful plays from dmtrappin. Fame for the last. That will be all she wrote here. No Team Notorious. Finally, ESGxRokkr find a way to deal with them. An offensive victory or an offensive loss there for Team Notorious. We'll see them lose the control 3-0. And that just looks so dominant for ESGxRokkr. It really is that simple, isn't it? It feels like exactly the same storylines that we were talking about from the upper bracket final, right? Where they're just kind of shutting down all of the big names on the Notorious. They just couldn't do anything. I mean, look at the end stat there. We'll have a more in-depth look. But Weeman, Eric Boom, players you really need to go off for Notorious just were not there.
Yeah, no, they just were nowhere to be found, really. I mean, say what you will about an LSTLO control, it's very tough for your SMGs to even get in that position in the first place. That you saw Metals, top kitchen, bottom lockers just being aloof to ESGxRokkr to even see that A zone being converted. It all starts with your ARs just being able to have themselves a decent map. And to be fair, I mean, Maple, he went 12-4. It's just everybody else up front when it came down to Eric Boom and... Wait, this can't be right? Metals definitely got more than 6 kills.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting stuff nonetheless.
Very low. It's very
Okay.
low, Andy, mate.
I was
gonna
say,
there's like...
I'm pretty sure I saw Metals with double digits. I just want to make sure that I'm not completely faded here. I've been sitting in front of these lights. I've been walking around the pit roadie. Anything's possible at this point.
Yeah, that was a funny one. Imagine that. Imagine if Maple had the sniper rifle out. That would explain a lot in that control. But yeah, we don't allow those in respawns. But yeah, just indomitable, really, isn't it, from the ESGxRokkr boys? And that's the ESGxRokkr that's kind of been absent for the first couple of maps this series. Just a lot of trust in one another. We also saw individual efforts, but from the team play, just insatiable. Here is that scoreboard that you were looking for, by the way. Double positive for Real, almost double positive for Fame. dmtrappin and Panda, I mean, all of them are positive. I think that's just the bottom line here. Everybody's slaying out.
Well, Maple dropped the same amount of kills, just 4 times the amount of deaths that you're in the control compared to the search and destroy. But yeah, I mean, Eric Boom, Weeman not having a good go of things is kind of the same semblance of what we saw against Boston Academy when they were playing that Fortress control in the lower finals. Map number 3 is that Eric Boom and Weeman just could not get the ball rolling as dmtrappin just absolutely feasts. 14-9, double positive for Real. Felt like that guy was everywhere. And Fame also making just really good decisions across the map on where he needed to be at the right time. 22-13 as he will finish. And I would say that this was required for ESGxRokkr. If you're coming out of the winner's side of the bracket, you want to essentially use these first 2 maps, try to get hot. If you can win one of those 2, that'd be great, because you know the Team Notorious coming off of those 2 matches back-to-back, they're going to be probably a lot warmer than yourself. So confidence, I would say, for ESGxRokkr that you can slay out against Team Notorious. That'll be that much more prevalent as we go back over to Hardpoint here on Hotel.
Yeah, it's stability that they were looking for, isn't it? Now they found it in this series, a way in towards it with that controlled victory. Now Hotel Hardpoint, we're starting to get in towards the new maps between these two teams. Let's see how this one goes. Off the rip, it's going to be ESGxRokkr. Look at a touch first. Good coverage coming out from ESGxRokkr. Shots into both Weeman and Metals, and ESGxRokkr will finish both of those gunfights. A little bit of space now being created by Notorious to find their way on through, but ESGxRokkr at the moment doing a stellar job just peppering them all up. Finally goes down. That's 13 seconds bought really by the coverage brought to you by ESGxRokkr.
Oh, truly. I mean, ESGxRokkr is coming in with the gunny, continuing on with their map 3 antics. But through all of that, again, Team Notorious, they still scathe away with that side of the map. Did not generate a single second off of P1 because they wanted to maintain the P2 side of the map. Player number 7 is Pander. He's actually snuck all the way through Spa. He's going to be in a big 1v1 towards the back. Does not have immediate assistance as ESGxRokkr gets gunned through the single archway.
Eric being well aware of the fact, though, he's probably heard him, of course. Dead Silence hasn't been activated just yet. Now it will be, and well, no, there you go. Didn't even need the Dead Silence. Panda will be heard there in that situation. Now Team Notorious in control. ESGxRokkr. It will be called out here as Metals is on the help desk. That nade should land pretty perfectly, though, for Fame to take him down. And now they're going to start to surge on through. Fame for the double. Fame looking for the triple. The shots are good, but again, he was a little bit weak. I have to imagine from that first gunfight, of course, and the player in that position was also better positioned. But Panda comes through. ESGxRokkr surging on towards this hard point for the back 25 seconds. Valuable time to take away from Team Notorious here. And if you're the Europeans, just rotate.
Yeah, no, you have to at that point, right? I mean, it's 15 seconds you would love to have, but we're still in the early stages here of this map number 4 of Hotel. Real starting to heat things up even further. Now on a 3 spree, combined 6 along with Pander. So really, how do you go about trying to traverse across this atrium? Well, it's going to help things out as ESGxRokkr finds Metals up top. Player number 4 is Maple. He is all the way in the back underneath Valet, and he's going to get a free kill. Almost gets turned on by Pander. Would have been a massive kill to find for himself, but this is a good position to be in. If you are Maple, you're going to cause a certain amount of doubt for ESGxRokkr on how to even get close to Kitchen.
Yeah, we know this can't be the money kill. Team Notorious want to exploit that where possible. A lot of it has to be coming from players in and around the hard point. Eric Boom has to try and get some of these guys, zone them away. Fame has found the exact route required here to get towards the hard point, but no, Fame, you can't just throw a stem takes out and run straight in the blast. What on earth is that? Now they're relying on the last remaining players. Panda from the connection side. ESGxRokkr through Freezer. What can they get done? Panda has already been peppered up. ESGxRokkr attempts to find his way through, and it is all just futile efforts here, there, and everywhere until Fame comes in for the double through the side door. Makes it look so easy, but again, the numbers way too much to handle there as Notorious do get all of that time.
Yeah, it's not a Bob Ross happy error right there. I mean, if Fame can somehow stay alive, and that Semtex wasn't thrown by himself in the first place, you're probably looking at a very different P3 break, but just about a full 60 was gained there for Team Notorious off of the kitchen hardpoint over towards the bar we go. And it will be ESGxRokkr. I mean, they do have the closer spawns. The reinforcements will be here sooner, but they're not winning the gunfights. Eric Boom on his 7th life. 12 and 6 is on a 4 spree.
Huge from Team Notorious. Eric Boom, as you say, 12 and 6 is having a hell of a game so far. And the cruise missile, that would be big as well for later on down the line. At the moment, though, ESGxRokkr still knocking at the door of this hardpoint. Eric Boom already being peppered up. The trophy systems aren't really there to protect him from any of this utility, this barrage of nades and stuns being thrown in his direction. But Eric Boom still looking pretty good here. Will survive back towards 100 HP. And he and Weeman, the team shot so good to just eliminate every single ESGxRokkr player attempting to even look at what is absolutely their property. And Eric now for the last kill here, a 1v1 on the scrap against Fame. That is a cruise missile in his back pocket, folks.
Yeah, such an awkward moment there, especially if you're trying to get Eric Boom out from D1. He had immediate assistance from Weeman. 14 and 7 now for Eric Boom. Has that kill streak earned, and Maple is picking up where Eric left off at the old hard point. Can't find much more damage that he is already laying down. Now it comes down to the respawns. Eric was the last alive. Maple's trophy system at least takes down Fame, but still have numbers available to contest this hard point if you're ESG nearby.
Yeah, they didn't know about Panda. This is the big thing for ESG. Panda has to be the playmaker in the situation. He's already picked up one there. That'll create some space for ESGxRokkr to get in, but ESGxRokkr is only able to get one for the moment. Now, Fame is the player to come from behind. So tenacious are ESG. just continuing to hit it, but Maple comes through for the triple, completely eviscerates every single ESG player close by, and that is Scrap going the way of Notorious. The last few hardpoints has been great for the European squad. They'll be ahead by about 60 points or so, going in towards the next hardpoint, but this is a big kill for ESG.
This is. It has to be. Because if it's not, and you get broken up and contested, then this first set of hardpoints might just be a giant dagger going in towards the second. They don't even have the rotation going over towards this Valet hill. Eric Boom's going to confirm that with the cruise missile as well. Drops it on in, but the trophy system's going to negate it. So now ESGxRokkr all around the back are just full-on flooding, and Eric Boom, Maple don't have a single answer for it. It's just Metals and Weeman to be able to find some straight trades, but the hard point's still contested right now.
Yeah, they can still go for this. Mel's going to get some shots towards that player around the back line. Panda will survive and actually comes back for the gunfight. That's bold, considering Eric Boom was still hanging around the joint, and I think Panda was well aware of that fact, but still, the end result is the same here for ESGxRokkr, and this is a huge moment. They take a lot of time away from Notorious, and they draw out that streak as well, right? That's a big usage coming out from Notorious.
Yeah, big decision being made there from Team Notorious to be able to commit that cruise missile towards that hard point in particular. I mean, if you got away with it, it would have been the difference of maybe like, what, 170 to about 70 would have been a 100-point lead potentially, but ESGxRokkr, I mean, they just do not understand the word mercy. They just all flood over towards the backside of that hill itself. And Panda's showing up in a massive way now, coming in towards the second set of hardpoints. 40 seconds separate these two teams.
Yeah, all the kill feed's going to light up yellow, though. This is beautiful from Team Notorious over towards this P1 hardpoint. They've got full control over the map. Those south spawns now coming through for ESG. North-south spawns, as a matter of fact, as well. ESGxRokkr going to spawn out over towards the kitchen side. There's still a good chance here for ESG to break. Got to get rid of some of these players, though. And there goes down Eric Boom. There goes down Maple as well, excuse me. Responses looking pretty good here for Notorious. ESGxRokkr just trying to lay down to escape Metals in this situation. Metals just jumps on the side, but you're like, peekaboo, you're dead. Notorious now, yet wave of gunfights here for a big amount of time. 15 seconds left now. The scrap's still being fought over. Panda going to lose that one towards Eric Boom. And Eric picks up a second as well. But now pressure around the backline here from ESGxRokkr is it's going to be Real and ESGxRokkr. Going to try and win some of these gunfights, but Real goes down. Now down to ESGxRokkr in that backline.
ESGxRokkr, I mean, they immediately spawn up, and they're trying to push all the way through Wine, and they're able to get past Chandelier, so you have ESGxRokkr in the back. He thinks that he's anchoring spawns, so Real spawns over by Spa, but Team Notorious still have numbers coming through from the front. ESGxRokkr goes down towards the back trucks, and again, Team Notorious are showing up in the trade department. They are finding every single kill required, but Real goes unnoticed in the back stairs. He's able to find one. That couples along nicely. The last player alive in the hill is Eric Boom, and Real will find him.
And Real just laid down low. He was not in the best position there, to be honest. Activates the dead silence just as Maple peeks him. Yet still, despite all the efforts from ESGxRokkr, they still can't get a wealth of time off the back of this hard point. Still getting outplayed. Maple now on 5 in a row. Will get taken down by Panda there amongst the flurry. That's probably the most important kill of the lot. As Electrify Steel now going to take him off that spree. But even that is not enough here. And Notorious very much in the same spot they were previously with Eric Boom. Once again, peacing out. I just don't think we're surprised at this point. He is basically double positive. It is Notorious in control of Nu.
I think I was seeing that correctly. He earned himself another cruise missile, right? Surely that was there, but regardless, 29-15 is a massive stat line. 211 to 130. The setup inside a kitchen is here again. And last time in the first set of hardpoints, ESGxRokkr could not get inside of this hardpoint. Need to have a stark difference here in the second set.
Here we go. Needs to be fast from ESGxRokkr. Real around the back line. That's a lovely nade from Eric Boom though tonight. ESGxRokkr's going to throw one in towards the kitchen, and it does blow up right in the face of Metals. But again, coverage looking pretty good for Notorious. Are the numbers? That's going to be the question. Is ESGxRokkr fame now combining for 3? They overwhelm Eric, Weeman, and Maple inside. 25 seconds now. Still worth fighting over because Notorious could technically finish it there, but I think they are just better served, moving over towards the bar rotation, and they know it as well. Metals will get this one last look. Actually, to be fair, they need to come back. Draws one player back towards this hard point, and that makes the look over towards the next break significantly weaker.
Any kill that Metals finds over there is fine, because you can see where ESGxRokkr, they're essentially spawning over by Valet, and it pulls back another defender to make sure that that time does not go over towards Team Notorious. They are in for yet another rotation. 2:38 and counting on up.
Got to go. Mid-map coverage being provided by Metals as well. That's a problem for ESGxRokkr. Weeman with the AR just way too strong. Couple more players to take down now. Now all down to just one. And they're being beamed by Notorious. A perfect hard point from them, especially when we look towards the rotations from P2 to P3. Notorious Once again, taking a hard point away from ESGxRokkr.
It's absurd to truly break down how much time this Team Notorious roster was able to generate at the latter half of the first set of hard points. I mean, it was not just a one-man show, but you really do feel like that man that just stood up, took off his headset, Eric freaking Boom, was just coming to play there in Hotel, was just slaying out everything that was coming his way. He will finish at a resounding 31-18, 3,300 damage. 21 of those kills are non-traded. And, Brody, he had 1:43 worth of OBJ time. 16 of his 31 kills were inside of the hard point. That is absurd what Eric is able to piece together. Notoriously, pun intended, has been a roaming slayer. Metals plays that role for this team, and Eric is now playing inside the objective to such a high level. My heavens.
Yeah, it's one of the things that Eric, I think, had to learn, right, coming into this season. I think previously when we talk about kind of rosters like AIM Esports, Eric Boom was that kind of explosive SMG player that was effectively the roaming SMG. Now I think he's had to learn to kind of sit inside the hill, and even that is not boring in any way because he ends up with almost 50 engagements, just 1 kill shy of 50 engagements, earns basically a double KD there inside that game. Eric is a little monster, man. I emphasize the little bit, but he's little monster, and that's the main thing for Team Notorious. Eric is just such a massive win for them to have on this team, and it has been, again, a massive thing for him to see kind of his performances in Season 1 and Season 2. We kind of noticed that. It's a big reason why they saw a little bit more success, too, especially during the group stages. But Notorious now in this series, Andy, 3-1 up. Just one more map, and the Europeans will take it.
Crazy to think that we even find ourselves here in this moment of time, because we have had North America champion after North America champion. This has been going on ever since the Opens truly came back, even through the Vanguard year. You know, I mean, we had some Europeans show out and be able to win some of these Challengers Opens. Shout out for Nicole Hixie as well for the Toronto Ultra North America roster, but even more so than that, for a European roster to not only make such waves through an open bracket for one, but to have small ripples at the beginning of their year, and then to come here in Texas and make a giant tidal wave here in Grand Finals versus the #1 seed, I am utterly surprised. I am so happy to be along for the ride.
I still think this is the best Challengers Open we've ever had.
It really has been. Yeah, we've had some upsets. We've had region upsets as well, just teams beating each other left, right, and center, dropping maps as well. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, crazy. There's something in the air here at Texas.
Yeah, we came in, I think it was out like the later stages of the bracket play, and the top 3, I think it was. When I first thought something was afoot, it was like the top 3 from Season 2 of North American Challengers Elite. They were donezo, right? I know we already knew kind of the top teams from European Challengers Elite because they both weren't really here, despite obviously Detroit Deviants being half of the Lenavi Del Mysterio roster. We already knew that wouldn't be the case, that they wouldn't be high up because they weren't present. But still, that's when you knew something was awry here at Texas. And now, moving forward, I mean, this Team Notorious roster have completely shaken everything up with just how well they've performed here in this grand final. There's just so many different storylines, I think, to talk about here. But there's one that we do have to talk about with ESGxRokkr at this point. They're currently 3-1 down to this Team Notorious roster. You have to feel bad for them to a certain extent. It's not over yet. They could still come out and win this 4-3 all the way in towards the game number 7. But you have to feel bad for them to a extent, because if they lose this, that LAN championship has still eluded them.
It's just those back-to-back second places that you do not want to see coming through from ESGxRokkr. You're a fan of all these players, the organizations, whatever it may have for you. It's just things you don't want to see. I mean, you don't want to wish ill upon anybody, Brody, but I mean, back-to-back silver places when it comes down to the 2 opens that we've had this year, it'd be interesting to say the least. And in 3rd place at Raleigh to start things off. Yeah, I think these guys should be due for a win, but they are not proving it here.
Oh, it's big, isn't it? Winning the grand final here at a LAN. If our former winners, LAG Academy and Decimate Gaming, have had anything to prove, winning is really good for your careers here in Call of Duty Esports. Team Notorious just 1 map away from getting a LAN championship under their belt here in Call of Duty Challengers. We're going to be back with map number 5 right after this break. Alrighty, folks, welcome back here to the Call of Duty Challengers Optic Texas Open presented by Perifio. It's time for what could be the final map in this best of 7. Ignore what's at the top of your screens right now. Team Notorious, they're actually 3-1 up, and we're into Embassy Search and Destroy. Not a bad map for ESGxRokkr.
Not a bad map for Team Notorious either. When you're looking at their overall elite seasons, Real's going to think that he maybe can get this bomb planted. He hears that door open, he thinks twice of it. Doesn't exactly have all the coverage in the world. It's mostly Panda that's over by Pots, but over by Sign. Metals will chow. Can't get first blood. Finally takes down Fame. Real needs some help. Please, help.
Oh, that's tough. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, the one direction you look if you're Godorex in that situation, and it is right into the sniper rifle of Maple. They also know where Panda is. That glitch got seen. So it's a matter of time before Panda goes down. Maybe he can win a 1v1 around the backline with Maple if he chooses to push, but... Team Notorious, they're not amateurs in this situation. Class them as semi-pros. Panda in the 1 versus 4. They're not going to give him any quarter whatsoever. He might be able to get some nice snipes off, but nope, doesn't react in time. Eric Boom gets him. And that's a flawless round coming out from the EUs.
Yeah, it's just really tough, right? I mean, if you're Rokkr Academy, you want to try to make this B plan happen very, very quickly in the round. Real gets past the sign. His only help again was Pander, who was sniping back Pots, overlooking AC. That door opens up. Eric probably through his shoulder, probably saw the glint from Pander's scope and wanted nothing to do with it. That information gets communicated to Metals, who pushes underneath the windows of Embassy. Whether or not there was a player for ESGxRokkr over by Xbox to maybe try to cover that cross, if not get in a battle with the player over on the A lane, is beyond me, but it does not mean that Real got any assistance whatsoever. Now, Team Notorious looking to do the same thing, looking for a quick B execute.
Should be able to get the bomb down. As Real decides to fly out from Orange. Metals will reveal the position. Eric Boom taken down. Metals able to take down Real at least before he goes. So, 2 versus 3 now. Notorious having a retreat towards that back administration building. ESG have already got some players over there. Fame and Godorex. And is just trying to distract. He's literally just trying to distract. That's the only play he's making right now, and it works. Wee Man looking in that direction. How about that for a play? Now 20 seconds on the clock. Maple needs to pull off something special. Does this the pistol? The snipe for the second, but no! Oh, he had him in his sights. But not a kill to be found there.
Center crosshair and everything. I was ready to jump up out of my shoes, man. Woo, well done from Pander. Just to continue to sit there and snake the tennis net. So wait for that kill to come through top admin. And then Fame presses all the way forward. Fame's, by the way, I don't know if it was a team Semtex or what that came all the way through, but there was a Semtex that got Eric all the way on the bomb that I'm pretty sure came from the center of the map closer towards Xbox. So good lineups being showcased here for ESGxRokkr to go defense for defense. Very tough site to retake, but majority of the way that you go about doing that is making sure you get top admin back in your favor with numbers. So defense for defense, trophy system will keep everybody safe from nades when they get tossed over here.
Real just trying to get a feel for where any Notorious players are located. Now feels confident enough to get this bomb down. It's positioned in the regular spot. They can cover it from either that back right side or the top administration building, but Real going to be tagged up by the initial nade. Good news for them. They take down Wee Man. Middle. Notorious trying to put together this flank. Slowly but surely does Metals make his way through.
No dead silence, so really has to be careful. Might have made a sound cue. You can see player up top. He's thinking about it for Fame. He's going to start running away. What's the timing look like? Metals can't even find a kill. Now it's up to Eric Boom. 1v3. Good luck. Have fun. Finds the first up top admin, but inevitably gets flanked. Wonderfully executed there for ESGxRokkr. I mean, there weren't any nades at all. That trophy system was just kind of vibing over by Pots. I think it maybe ate 1 stun for dinner, and that was it. And at that point, you have the coverage over by Pots to look towards top AC. Mid lane was covered as well as Godorex, I believe, was watching that A lane. Oh, nobody could flank on the backside of the administration building. And yeah, Metals, I mean, he slips all the way through, but he makes that audio cue, bottom admin. So wonderful stuff coming through from ESGxRokkr. They may have lost the first, but they answer back with the following 2.
Straight away off the rip on this. Notorious looking for blood, and they will find it. With Real and Panda out of the round. Godorex tries to make his way through the administration building. And goodness, that was super fast. Notorious happy to take it.
Sorry, I blinked. Did we play around Search and Destroy? That was Pretty lightning fast the way those kills all came through. I mean, it's just immediate building control. Usual positions being looked at. Maple hits the snipe up top AC. Not a whole lot to break down if you ask me, Brody. Just a good rollout for Team Notorious. Looking in the right directions. Keep things evened up going into round number 5. Energy yet to find a kill. Now he gets a little asterisk next to that because he's been running the sniper and he's going up against Maple, who was 4-2. He dropped 12 kills in the LSD Search and Destroy, but Nate's over the top, gonna deal with some cars. Seems like Team Notorious are playing around with the idea to either push mid lane or all the way around back embassy.
Very aggressive from Team Notorious again. They're trying to go for that kind of almost standard setup and making their way through administration building, but they've got to be careful. They don't want to fall into the trap of giving away an unforced error. Metal's now going to utilize his dead silence here and might have just got the timing, but no. His fellow Spanish Brethren will take him down. Now for Team Notorious here. They still don't need to play hyper-aggressive, but again, recognizing exactly where Eric Boom is located. ESGxRokkr just trying to draw Eric into the trap, and they do exactly that. Now ESGxRokkr have a lot to play with.
ESGxRokkr and just springing traps with doors. Gets the information, team shots come all the way through. The trust is there. Last 2 players alive for Team Notorious are the AR lineup between Maple and Weeman. ESGxRokkr with the submachine gun, no dead silence required. He's going to start pushing up these stairs. Might get some favorable timing onto one, but these 2 players are split. And they both fall simultaneously.
Yep. That's unfortunate, I think, for Team Notorious, just generally speaking, right? Because, again, like if they would have played a little bit more passively in that round, and I know you do have to get some modicum of control over the administration building, they might have well have won it, but ESG just played it so well, just baiting those guys in.
I mean, once you get the immediate information, I mean, there was a player that was trying to take a challenge inside of the toilets, right? And when Eric Boom just comes flying into, or when it was Metals, excuse me, trying to push on in towards the showers, his SMG duo of Eric Boom left him to try to go push inside of P2 and just get absolutely baited by ESGxRokkr to get the 2 easiest kills. I'm sure that they'll find all search and destroy along. How about this from Team Notorious? They are flooding out towards P2. That stun gets a lot of hits, but I don't think that ESGxRokkr was expecting more than 1 person. Fame does, though. He finds 2. We go 2 for 2.
They haven't dealt with all the threats, though. They're about to run headfirst into Real, who happily takes down Weeman in that situation. Of course, they've counted the heads. They know who's dead and who's not. It's Maple for the 1v2. They're well aware of that fact. Might be able to get one, though. Across the way. Spots out Panda. Panda's just going to back away, not going to give anything away for free in this situation. And Maple grabs the bomb. No way. There is no way. Real chows it.
Do it.
Oh, no.
Do it to him!
The timing! The timing! He's done it to him! The pistol kill is good now, 1v1.
40 seconds remaining. He has the bomb in his back pocket. Has a Vaznev that he picked up off of Real's corpse. And he's expecting Panda to push all the way through. That kill did not come through, so that way Maple did not get the regen onto the dead silence. If he peeks this slowly enough, he might check the van, but Panda throws some shots. 23 seconds. Maple's going to take the chow. Sun comes in.
Panda, all he needs to do is play time. Don't give him anything. Maple's going to have to back away, but again, it only takes 1 snipe. 12 seconds from Maple. No dead silence to work with here. I don't know if he even has time to plant at this point.
He does.
Across the bomb. Yes, he does. Bomb will go down.
And now Panda for the retake. Does Maple have dead silence again? Panda's got a trophy and an AR in hand, and Maple is just going to play in this tight-knit corner, or is he going to try to fish out a timing? He's rewrapping around P1. That's
He's activated Daddy. He's activated Daddy. He's not going to hear this. He's not going to hear this. Panda from behind. You got to watch your back, buddy. Maple just get the information. Switch.
Ah!
He whiffs! He whiffs! Panda's got time. He's not going to hop on the defuse just yet. 15 seconds. Let's take 1 to finally! Maple wins the longest 1v1 you've ever seen.
He got 2 dead silences in the round. That's how long that one just took. That's absurd. I mean, if you're Panda, there's only so much you can do. Again, he doesn't have dead silence, right? So yes, just encroach on the bomb, just sit down on top of it and expect the challenge to come through maybe over by the Xbox side. Again, it's a bold call because there's always that thought that he could just hop it. If Panda gets back over towards that bomb, he could have just hopped it and maybe ninja'd it away from Maple. But as you call Brody, that second that silence comes through, he pops it. He comes around P1 behind Kitchen, and he clutches up the round for his team to keep things even in around 7 we go.
Woo! I hear Andy on the casting desk. ESGxRokkr trying to make Team Notorious sweat here in this round with the aggression on towards B. Real once again playing the opener. Doesn't want to plant the bomb just yet, and well, again, Eric Boom flies out, takes him down. Now the bomb is stuck on site.
That's a tough place to leave a bomb. Patty caked on the ground. Also quite dangerous. Got our X, nade, stuns, not going to connect anything whatsoever. Wee Man's going to find yet another kill for Team Notorious here in this round. And they have the entire map to play with as well. Got our X is forced to make a play. That silence activated as well, but that door opens up into a double chow. Fame 1v4 would need the entire ace to clutch the round for his team.
It's a lot to ask for Fame here, isn't it, in this situation? At least he's got control of the bomb, right? Technically speaking, he could get that and run away, but leave himself out in the open, exposed. I think he's just trying to draw some players in before planting this bomb. Should get it down. But I'd imagine those yellow arrows would just swarm towards the bomb as soon as it goes down. And there it is. Fame actually gets away. Surely he's not going to survive for much longer. Oh my god. He gets that kill versus Wee Man. Turns for the second as well. The shots are looking pretty good. Has to check the bomb planter though. And oh my god. Almost makes that realistic out of thin air.
I mean, that would have just been the most insane timing because Maple was up top. He climbed the ladder top AC and he was about to chow him over by the stairs. It felt like Fame was perpetually below 50 HP. He almost gets the better of Metals. I mean, the wallbang shots to the door kept Metals weak. Metals just sees Fame just flying at him. The fact that he even found the second inside of the orange electrical hallway is beyond me, catching a player mid-tack sprint, as he was still one shot from the previous engagement over by Sign, but c'est la vie. We end up having ourselves round number 8, and ESGxRokkr would desperately love to have it. Do not want to be down 5-3 and put Team Notorious up on a series point.
First blood. Team Notorious, a smile across their faces. Every kill puts them one step closer to the championship. That's a big one. ESG now relying on stopping them crossing the path that is middle of the map. Aggression now coming out from Real, but he kind of goes down. Now it is actually going to be Fame, excuse me, in the middle of the map. I will catch Eric Boom on the cross. The shots are not good enough for the kill just yet. Turns around, recognizes that maybe someone's going to fire that bar for him. That's not the case just yet.
2v4s are so tough on Embassy because you have so many different lanes to watch. But Goddard, he is still over here by the B-bomb. He takes down Eric Boom. That's the bomb drop. Metals will recover it. Maples with that silence. He will pop it. He has the sniper to play with, and he should be more than aware off of the previous shots that somebody should still be mid-map, and Fame is just holding his irons.
Yeah, you're not going to see it. That's the problem. You know he's there, but you're not actually going to get anything from him. As Wee Man jumps out from the top window to take him down. That seems like it might well be the play. Metal's trying to take some shots in towards Goddard. None of them actually going to land, and there it is. Up top, Maple for one. Other one goes down. Notorious on championship point.
It just happens so quick. That stun comes through. And whether or not it was going to connect on a Fame, regardless, it was communicated to Metals, who recovers the bomb after Eric gets gunned by GodRx up top. He just immediately turns for it, fully expecting the chow. The damage on a GodRx was good enough that you knew he was going to reposition, so you have to turn to look at the middle of the map. Metals makes that play so often on defense, he knows that that's where he has to look. Championship point for Team Notorious. An offensive look for Electrify Steel ESGxRokkr. They're trying to get themselves over towards B. Nades, stuns, there are players here as well.
Aggression towards B. Real's going to do what he normally does. Gets this bomb down, hope they've got the defense to hold it from administration building. But what does the post plant look like for Real, who has gone down in these situations, wants to get aggressive through electrical, and actually loses that 1v1 off screen. But elsewhere, Panda has taken down one. Cruise missile has been slammed down, and it forces ESG in towards the site. GodRx has been stunned up. Lets the player run straight past him. Does he know? Yes, he does, but it doesn't matter. Now the 1v3 for the championship for Wee Man. Knows where these players are located. Does he have the time to make the miracle happen? No. ESG, hold on. One round at a time.
It's kind of rude just to step on GodRx's hands as you run past pots, but yeah, holding the numbers. The aggression works out. It's something that we haven't seen Electrify Steel find value in really since, like, what, their second attack, round 3, so it comes back. Trophy system wasn't required to keep themselves safe from nades because Team Notorious are a lot more adamant about making sure that their gunnies get in the positions first before they throw their nades. That said, bomb being planted, 2 players stay alive up top. Admin becomes a little bit less doable for Team Notorious as they lose players along the way. How about aggression? 2 times in a row. This time, Team Notorious, again, championship point.
I get this bomb down. Trade's going down. It's in favor of ESGxRokkr. And in from behind, Wee-Man can't do anything. It's Metals for the 1v3. He makes it a 1 versus 1. But no, again. Round 11 for everything.
My heart can't take it. Andrew takes first blood on the Maple. He wins the sniper battle. Eric Boom felt the necessity to push it. He was the only player in a position to try to get Pander before he got away. But he ran into a double chow on the backside of AC. Finds one, gets gun. 2 rounds in a row for ESGxRokkr. Championship point for Team Notorious. Tournament life for ESGxRokkr. And they're going to have offense. Do they go back towards this aggressive hit over towards B? Pander looks to be sniping. Electrify Steel are actually playing this very passive. They're giving a lot of respect on the map for Team Notorious.
This is the problem. You have to cross the no man's land that is the middle of the map. ESG know that. You also have to be very wary of the fact that Team Notorious might try to penetrate the administration building. They've done it before. It was only a few rounds ago that ESGxRokkr managed to draw a couple of players in. Take them down. Both of those players, relatively similar positions. The Metals could well be the playmaker here. Slow, steady. Ready to strike. Any given moment. Just chilling. Allows a player past him. This bomb will go down. Metals should react as soon as it does.
There's no immediate assistance looking at this mid lane. Does Real get out with his life? No, he's going to get from behind. Metals for first blood, but you have Fame in the clutch position up top. You have to deal with Fame up top.
Far. Wee-Man taking shots. Fame down to 43 HP. The push has to be now. Elsewhere. Godorex down. Pushed all the way into the administration building, but around the back, Pan has the read on towards 1. 26 seconds now. Pan for the double. And Wee-Man, he's just going to jump on the defuse. Fame should check this one. They are not done yet. Electrify Steel survive a brush with death here. 3 rounds on the bounce, and they send us to a map number 6.
Woo, man, it's getting hot over here, Brody. Pander stands up, let him have it a little bit. He starts off 0-3. The sniper comes back out to play. I want to say like round 8 or something like that, and starts finding further value with it. But it is what his SMGs capitalize on top of it. Specifically, Fame was just a pure benefactor for ESGxRokkr's success when it comes down to those latter rounds. Maple was having his way, as well as Metals through the majority of this game. But man, this is what makes ESGxRokkr just so deadly. We saw it in Boston versus Decimate. We saw it even slightly for Elite Season 2 as far as group play is concerned. Their ability to stay cool, calm, collect, to go back to business as usual, and to adapt to the tendencies that Team Notorious are throwing at them is just so respectable. We're going to another map.
I'm stunned, mate. Absolutely stunned. They were so close. They were so close. 5-3 up, and they could not finish. ESGxRokkr, as you say, tenacity. Stay alive in this one. Oh, goodness me. Here's a look at the best of 7 as it currently stands, folks. Again, killed it. They were 3-1 up in the series off the back of 2 hardpoint victories, and I think, crucially, a search and destroy victory. Now, Electrify Steel able to hold their nerve and win another search and destroy kit, send it to another control. And this is the problem, I think. I don't know if I want to call it one, but we've already recognized that Notorious's, I guess, Achilles heel in this tournament so far has been control. And we saw that earlier on with just how swiftly Electrify Steel dispatched with them in map number 3.
It's just, again, it's so strange that I'm even sitting here having this conversation with you of all people, Brody, that I'm sitting here looking at Team Notorious on that Station 1. And I'm like, they're having a bad weekend of control. A team that has been, again, pun intended, notoriously the best control team that we have coming out of Europe, have only dropped 2 control maps across both Elite Season 1 and Season 2. That said, you feel like that hotel might be a better chance for them to be able to do it. The only reason why I say that is because the hard veto for ESGxRokkr Academy all year long, ever since Raleigh concluded, has been Triple Hotel. It is their least practice map. It is their least favored map as well, Brody. You gotta have it here, you would feel like, in the control for Team Notorious and on Hotel nonetheless.
Oh, man. I just... This is insane. This is utterly insane.
It's a great series. We've been blessed with some great series since yesterday and even today, too. bangers.
I'm telling you, man. I don't care what people say. This is the single best Challengers Open we have ever had. Shout out to Optic Texas running the event, and obviously all the wonderful people behind it, all the wonderful people behind us in production, for choosing the matches that we've had on broadcast, because every single one has been filled to the brim with storylines. It's been such a wonderful season so far. This is effectively like just over the midpoint of the season, right, Andy? So to see this now, oh, dearie me, Notorious still on the hunt for that last map, but as we've said, this has been their problem, and I don't know why, considering, again, they were such a good control team in Europe, in Elite so far. I know, again, it's a different setting, but still, that has to be the thought process for Electrify Steel here. Look, we destroyed them in map number 3, just get through this one, and we're going to Game 7.
On the day, Brody, on this Championship Sunday, Team Notorious have taken a single round of control. It was against Electrify Steel ESGxRokkr on El Asilo. Will Hotel be different? Well, the opening rip suggests maybe. Wee-Man able to find Q. Maple trying to double up himself, but it will inevitably be Electrify Steel Rocker that stabilized the middle of the map. But Eric Boom quickly off the respawn showed presence at B.
Notorious trying to get something going at B. Help's not really around the back line though, is Hannah. Once again, going to double up here. Started on 3 and 1, make that 4 and 2 there as he gets nade on towards Eric Boom, not just before going down towards Maple. Haven't quite cleared the point just yet though, and Maple's actually going to pick up another one as well. So that completely clears all of the presence of ESGxRokkr over towards B. They can now stack this if they so choose. That's not a good Semtex from Maple. He's had some good ones. That is not it. And now find themselves effectively in a 2 versus 2 here on the point. Maybe a 2 versus 3 if GodRx comes and joins the fight through the middle of the map. But now Maple, what more can he done? Still alive here on 4 and 1. Getting the second tick of aggression through. It's not going to be there, just shy of that second tick. Team Notorious now going to have to settle for Ray.
Single tick is all they'll get. 20 plays up against 16. This has to be your last stand to get 60 seconds on towards the board. Kills are still coming through the middle of the map. Eric Boom is still over here at A, but the numbers for Team Notorious are actually favoring that to get bedroom control. Wee-Man will get at least a parallel spawn over by the cat room. Fame guns Wee-Man where he stands. At first segment is going to come through before Fame gets here, though.
Yeah, they have stopped it, though, at least. Fame now on 5 in a row. And Nade might well take him down at 10 HP. He escapes. He knows how important getting this streak is. Back up towards full health he goes. Now starting to gain some map control as well. Fame could well just be pivotal stopping this entire play. I don't think he even needs to. Panda and GodRx are doing the job for them. But fortunately enough for Team Notorious, it's been a bit of a scrappy offensive round so far for them. Wee-Man picks up a double in the kill feed here. Coverage over towards A for ESGxRokkr, but they might well have just fully lost B depending on how this push goes. They're double stacking it. Eric Boom looking to close things out, but from the middle comes Fame and Panda. Just one more player alive. It's Maple. He can't get it done. The third tick again was about, what, 0.1% away. They could not finish off, and now Team Notorious down to their final set of lives. One last hurrah over towards A. They should be able to touch the point at least. As Eric Boom picks up a double, they will.
Hold on a second. 4v9. The stack is here. 2 players strong. Maple, Eric. The 2 players on the zone, no trophy system, I don't think, to at least keep them safe from nades. Electrify Steel ESGxRokkr, they're going to chalk this. They're going to allow the 60 seconds to come through. This is a smarter call because Team Notorious have no respawns remaining. They just need 1 tick at B. 1 good hit, Brody. That's what they need.
Yeah, but it's fragile, isn't it? Down to the last 4 lives, it has to be perfect from here on out. And ESGxRokkr, from a multitude of different directions, just peppering up Real from behind to take down Wee-Man for the rest of this round. Notorious down to the final 3. Fame for another one as well. He's got that cruise missile on the back pocket from that earlier spree. He's had a hell of a round here to kick off this control. Maple and Metals. The M&Ms. What do they have for us here?
Probably no a whole lot of nothing. I mean, you have to somehow get, you got to get Fame out from this position. All right, Metals removes him, but this is this running mate of Maple along the way, so. I mean, a whole lot of something for what was starting to look like a whole lot of nothing. I'll tell you that much. They get at least 4 ticks here. I thought it was going to be 4. They somehow walk away with the entire capture over by the A zone for a total of 5 ticks. And for how that opening rip did start, color me surprised because Electrify Steel were just having their way. But it really does go to show you just how it takes 1 solid attempt, 1 good break to be able to capture 60 seconds on a map mode combination that is hotel control. Talk about Fame getting his early streak 9 and 6. How about Pander 12 and 6 double positive after round 1?
Also, the good thing is, when it comes to hotel control, you don't generally speaking care that much about your tick progression because, again, we always talk about it not really being that offensively or defensively sided. So it's not really something that you consider all that much. Notorious getting that A push towards the end won't really bother ESGxRokkr. They'll be happy with the round victory, but now over towards this one. He's going swimmingly for ESGxRokkr. Team kill comes through from Weeman, and well, that's a great redemption up for him. Doubles up on towards Panda Real. GodRx now going to have to bring that trip system down to prevent that nade from tagging him up. It will anyway, and Metals will clear the point before any damage can be done.
Oh, look at him just flying all the way through. They've only lost 3 lives. Team Notorious here on their defense so far, and you got 2 players that are inside of Secret. 1 player is left. It's Eric Boom gets dealt with. GodRx will double down. 7 and 8 now for GodRx. Has fame here to be able to get this final segment over at A. Notorious gave himself a real good shake, maybe to try to get that A zone back in their favor. Cannot fight back here as they unfortunately lose the life lead that they did have for themselves. ESGxRokkr, 60 seconds added onto the board.
And map control, I was going to say, not quite as encased in stone as Notorious would have liked, but now it is as they get the kills required. Eric being able to get himself in towards bedroom on the map, but GodRx comes through and shreds a couple of players around the backline and hang on for a second. Eric Boom's position becomes so much more important. He needs to hold inside bedroom because now GodRx in this position, going to be able to zone off every single player coming off spawn from Notorious. They've got to remove GodRx, who now finds himself on 4 in a row, snaking his life away, but going to whiff some shots there. Somebody's got to close the window in the venue because GodRx there, not exactly the shots required against Weeman.
Yeah, you know, I guess I never really thought about it. I mean, that's a pretty big door that's open over by the lobby side. Just a big gust of wind comes through. 3-for-1 trade goes the kill feed. Team Notorious have numbers they will stabilize. They'll put Metals inside of bedroom along with Eric Boom down low. So just trying to find where some of these players are located at, but are they counting numbers? Are they expecting Fame to be in from behind? It seems that Maple is aware of it. He's starting to clear some of his flank, but that kind of weakens up the frontline pressure that Team Notorious once had.
I was doing a really good job at the moment of just taking any ESG players that managed to filter through the backline. ESG is focused on making sure they push through the middle of the map and through bedroom side. They remove Metals, but now Eric Beam will go and take his place. Team Notorious doing everything right at the moment in terms of holding correct areas of the map. Panic getting shots towards Eric Beam, and now ESG can start to move forward here. Fame is now on the point. The clock will stop at 39 seconds. Team Notorious got to get through the middle of the map and through bar side. Fortunately for them, every single kill is good. And overwhelmed will be ESG, and back towards the respawn point they go.
34 seconds. That's a damn near depleted Foley. Isn't even really about halfway towards getting captured. Players still trying to run routes. Eric Boom, the SMG duo of Metals, will take them down over on the restaurant and through the double arches. So now you know it's mostly coming through Jacuzzi and mostly from the bedroom side.
Notorious have to use that information correctly, pertinently. Double out now in bottom bedroom. Our Team Notorious. Electrify still have to effectively dive on towards the point and look backwards. Deal with those threats. Forwards as well. And while they do that, to be fair, Panda gets some shots in towards Weeman, but not enough to take him down. And that's good enough for Team Notorious. It was scary for a moment there, but that full wipe, I think, it's not the last push, but the push before that one really did secure it.
Yeah, it truly did. Defensive round comes through off of an answer. And again, the question still subsides. What side of this map do you honestly prefer? It may not matter so long as Team Notorious can continue to win rounds. They do have a tick advantage, is what we can at least say, as the Electrify ESGxRokkr were only able to get themselves that full capture over at A. Fame still has that streak, by the way. I don't think he used it in the previous round. Probably a good call to keep it in his back pocket for a rainy day here at Greenberg Hotel. 3 players for Team Notorious off this opening rip, looking to assault B, and while they find the kills required, it's only GodRx to find at least a trade along with Pander for presence at B early on.
Yeah, good enough here as Eric Boom will win out in those trades. Now, in Metals, trying to capture this point. I think it might be futile, though, because they haven't got all the coverage required from behind. A lovely nade from Real at the start of this one will remove Eric from the point. You really, ideally, you've got to get rid of GodRx in this position. From behind, here he goes. Misses the first few shots, actually, and Team Notorious off the back of that will survive. GodRx should be taken down now. And oh no, that is not good. Panda down as well. Real now has to take down his fellow EU players. All by his lonesome if he wants any chance of stopping this B capture. Gives it a little look. You can see him on the map. He's throwing shoulders, but they will not stop this B cap.
60 seconds added to the board. 25 plays up against 21. A whole set of respawns do the offensive team have over ESGxRokkr's head. Player number 7 is Pander. He's actually in a position that he could be helping things out over towards A, but the only player that was over there defending the A zone, he goes down. The ESGxRokkr, they got players that are coming through the chandelier. It's just one player over here. It's Metals.
And Metals has already gone huge for the 1 kill. To ask much more of him would be a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. So he doesn't do any more. The Notorious now have a wealth of time to get this A hit through. Going to continue to send players in around the flank. Maple, one of them, of course, no dead silence, so he likely is going to be heard. Now he's been tagged up as well, so trying to distract any of these players, make the front line weaker for ESGxRokkr. Going to win the first one against Panda. Now we're on the front line. Team Notorious being offered up a chance down to Maple's heroics. Got to take down Real, though, in the cup. Real has some players to line up, not able to get the first kill through, so now Team Notorious here looking for a good hit. Maple has been dealt with around the back line. So ESG now need to focus on that front. Kills looking pretty good again. For the first 50 seconds or so, Team Notorious unable to break.
There's just one player that's left. It's going to be Maple. I think that he was playing in a corner inside of the pantry. He catches Fame by surprise. So kitchen control is still not here for ESGxRokkr. They're mostly trying to defend this from the backside of the restaurant. Maple gets dealt with, maybe pushing a little bit too far forward before his teammates end up coming around for some assistance. Cherie 1v1s are still being found for ESGxRokkr, and that's going to be good winnings for them so that way they can keep chipping away at the clock.
ESG are fine with this. Godorex now on 4 in a row. They run right into him. Might well be able to get a cruise missile for later on down the line, but Metal's in for 1. Wee Man going to go down. There's 5 for Godorex. Maybe get number 6, but no. Eric Boom has the time to take him down. Eric Boom not going to get the second, and that might well have been the in for Team Notorious. It's not over just yet, but it might be soon as more kills come through for ESG. Wee Man in for the double, though. Still holds the door open for Team Notorious. Can he get any more than that? It's Maple. The AR duo for Notorious keeping themselves in towards this round. Last player on the point, Fame will go down. And now the Europeans will stack. Team Notorious picking up kills in the feed. It only takes 1 good hit. This might well be it. ESG gotta fly. You have to fly fast. I don't know if they even really want to do it at this point. Fame's going to bring the cruise missile down. There's no trophy system. I was wondering why they were waiting. And that is exactly why. Now we're 3 versus 6. Team Notorious, can they get close? No, they can't. Perfect utilization of the streak.
Oh, man, but it gets you kind of sweating, dripping down your back if you are ESGxRokkr that it took that cruise missile to be able to do. You can even see Fame having himself a little bit of chuckle just about it that the cruise missile even touches down. Surely they had to have had at least 1 trophy system, but the way that I'm pretty sure I saw the splash come in, Brody, is that you can splash it against the brick wall over by that sidebar that leads to pantry, and all of that splash damage does not get negated by a trophy system. Man, good utility usage as you were talking about there, Brody. Fame finds 3 with 1 cruise missile. That is good investment if you ask me. 22-17 now for Fame as Electrify Steel shave away another defensive round. It got close. It got down to the wire again as Team Notorious are really making a good argument for how it only takes 1 good hit.
Yeah, indeed they are. ESG now just 1 offensive victory away from taking this one. And this is a very strong B hit right off the rip kit. Godorex and Panda now going to stack the point. To go a little bit faster than Team Notorious would like. Coverage now being brought by Fame as well towards that statue side, and every single kill required is going their way. This looks shaky for Notorious. It gets worse as well. Just 1 kill to the 7 made by ESG at the moment. Finally more come through, and Maple actually doubles up, maybe getting the triple, but no will be denied. Godorex should be able to close this B capture out now. And there you go. B secured now for ESG.
I mean, this is all happening. Fame has been over at A the entire time. He already has a segment. Halfway through, the second segment is about to be on its way. Fame is dancing in Team Notorious. They thought they could get the B zone back in their favor. Fame snaps 8 in a row, and that should be it. The kills come through. Team Notorious are spawning out on Bufu. It is over, and Electrify Steel will take the control on Hotel.
Oh my god. Game 7. What a way to end the Optic Texas Open, and what a way to end the control, frankly. I expected that to go to a round of 5, to be honest. I didn't expect Electrify Steel to come out for, what was it, a 7-1 trade on the point from 2 waves of kills. And then, obviously, for Fame to go absolutely huge over towards A while all that is ongoing. Just incredible. The stats pumped up by that final round from Electrify Steel, a deserved victory as they send us all the way.
To a Game 7? Are you kidding me? How many maps have these guys gotten? This has been a long weekend of COD. That's absolutely absurd. Panda shows up in a massive way. I mean, it needs to be said. Yeah, Fame is obviously the star of the show at 26 and 17. Had that illustrious 8 spree. 4 of them was all at the back end, I believe 3, if not with the cruise missile there in round number 3. But Fame makes the play. I mean, they're in the final round. Godorax, Panda, Real, they're just relentlessly striking over towards Lights, over by the B zone itself. They're finding kills. Godorax is the last alive. He gets that least trade onto Maple. And you saw there for just a split second, like on the mini-map, Team Notorious were hesitant as far as what they wanted to do on that specific moment. Do we try to go get the one player at A, or do we try to get the one player at B? The B zone was already tacked over. It's that little bit of hesitation that comes back to bite them in the rear in round number 4. Doesn't exactly help when you have all of Rokkr Academy ESG just absolutely slaying out.
I am absolutely stunned, mate. We kind of called it, I think, just how important that Embassy Search and Destroy was ultimately for them, of course, because, well, not only did they survive and not lose the championship there, but we know that the controls, they're, I would say, just a cut above Notorious in the controls. We saw that earlier on with just how fast the LSC low control was, but that 3-1 victory sends us all the way to a Fortress Search and Destroy for a game number 7, mate. I'm just happy, mate, elated with just the way this whole thing has gone down, because, again, I could not ask for a better conclusion. This already wonderful Texas Open.
That's good, man, because your happiness means the world to me. So if you're happy, I'm happy, Brody. I'm having a fantastic day. Wouldn't have it unfold any other way as well. It's been lit over here as far as Arlington, Texas is concerned. I believe Optic just got done beating FaZe up on the main stage. Now we got Team Notorious, the Europeans, being pushed to the brink by these Silver Surfers themselves of this Electrify ESGxRokkr, your Season 1 champions. Got top 8 in Season 2. Not where they wanted to be. Same could be said about Team Notorious. This is a zany Grand Finals, and it all goes down on a Fortress Search and Destroy. Wacky scenes.
Can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. Fortress Search and Destroy is up next on the docket. The final map, no matter what happens, a Search and Destroy to decide it all. We're going to go to a very brief break. On the other side, it's Team Notorious. It's Electrify ESGxRokkr. One of them is about to be our Optic Texas champions. Welcome back, everybody, here to the Call of Duty Challengers Texas Open, brought to you by Perifio. We're down to our very final map in this best of 7 grand finals that has been utterly enthralling. It's going to be a Fortress Search and Destroy. Let's just give you guys a quick reminder as to how the series has gone down so far.
First 2 maps for Team Notorious, pretty convincing if you ask me, especially on the 3 rounds that they won in a row. On that LOC load, map number 2 for Search and Destroy. The controls have been, well, all ESG. And the past 2 maps have been all ESG. That round 11 was electric, to say the least, on Embassy Search and Destroy, winning 2 rounds in a row to be able to even close it out. Not to mention that offensive round on Hotel Control. I will have nightmares over. I'm sure Notorious will as well. But it all comes down to this, Brody. Fortress Search and Destroy. Can't believe that's what we're going to have here. This is a multi-$1,000 game of Fortress Search and Destroy, but we are here. Game number 7. Let's get into it.
Let's get it on, as Alan and Austin would love to say. 1 game of Search and Destroy for all the beans, and CSG starting things off on the defense. Playing this one relatively reserved for the moment. Team Notorious here looking to get their way over towards the A site.
Suns aren't really going to find anything too early on. I mean, you have Team Notorious that are playing in and around of Art. We managed just waiting to see if anybody chows to the middle of the streets, but nobody's found anything whatsoever. Even Maple with the sniper, that nade's not going to connect on anything. Nobody knows where anybody is.
I'm just going to draw the first blood. Eric Boom. Nice. Going to fall just as the bomb will be left slapped down on the site. So Maple sniper has to be the playmaker here in this situation. We know he's capable of it, but no! Doesn't get anything. Player will go through maps. Elsewhere, Weeman has drawn not just 1, but 2 players all the way through that street side. Whoa. And Metals is going to capitalize as well. How quickly the tables have turned here in this round. It's Real left up for a 1 versus 3. And Notorious, they're hightailing it.
Gotta love that call. I think Real got scouted by Metals top single. He's bottom stables. And Real's dead silence is going to dissipate. He has to get in a gunfight versus Weeman first. And Weeman finds 3 in the round. I mean, that is just absurd timing and shot calling coming through from Team Notorious. I mean, you find, and I mean this quite literally, nothing in like the first 40 seconds for information for both teams. So Eric thought that he could just dive over towards the bomb, get that plant going, but nobody was looking through open arch. He gets blooded, and then Weeman finds an open route through that mid lane, past the first P1 truck. And he finds 2 seemingly for free and just forces ESG's hand to try to push into the site. It does not work. Team Notorious winning that first round, continuing on with their aggressive ways. ESGxRokkr just trying to get mid-map control.
Start from Team Notorious. Do they have anything to say in this round? Yes, they do. Eric, aggression through munitions. This is what you wanted to see out of Notorious. You've got the power of SMG players like Eric Boom, Metals on your team, utilize them for plays like this. And now the bomb down right in the line of sight of Eric. Real, his former teammate, has to go in and collect. They're on the other side of the doors, though. This is tough.
Heard sniper shot just go off. I assume that's probably Maple. Door will open. Real. Semtex around the corner. There's so many top maps that's actually watching this. Real's going to get attacked, so he knows Eric's in here, but he is 1 shot. He's not going to be challenging this anytime soon. Here's him jumping across. That's a big kill to find for himself, and Real collects the bomb.
Eric, you could see how kind of uncomfortable he looked there in that play. A lot of time shaved off this round, though, from ESG. Not a lot to work with in terms of getting the bomb down. I think the Notorious know that. You can see the repositioning on the minimap. Metals now for Godorex as well as he moves out towards the middle of the map now. ESG don't really have a lot to work with here, to be honest. Stuck. Maybe pushing for a play over towards B, though. It's been called out by Weeman. You have to imagine now. Yeah, you can see the yellow arrows. Actually going to move here, but the kill for Panda is good. Maple sniper rifle, though, even better. And now Panda stuck in a 1 versus 2. There's certainly not enough time to plant the round. There's certainly not enough time to get either of these 2 kills. This round goes the way of Notorious.
Maple just stays in the position, sticks himself into the ground like a tree, man. He just does not budge at all. Just playing over by that open area in this archway, just expecting Chows to come all the way through. Nobody chowed him on the backside of the stage for quite some time. He threw like 1 shot over towards Pander, and I mean, once the kill started to come all the way through, especially when the bomb was getting jostled for position top boat for so long, Pander thought that he could get positioning over towards top bench and maybe gun these players. Did not have an easy go of things. The Team Notorious will win 2 rounds in a row, the opening 2 rounds. Maple Sniper, big reason of just locking down some of these longer lines of sight. Pretty standardized defense, if you ask me, for ESG. It'll garner them a first blood.
Got to get the wheels turning soon if you're ESG. And this is the round to do it. Start. Perhaps GodRx can capitalize for a double. 1v1. Not over just yet, over by Stable's side. I think Real might come and join the fight sooner rather than later. And Eric Boom going to take one out of the window, but Trade's now going down as GodRx going to take down another as well. So Notorious, they don't quite have the numbers to get the bomb down where desired. Eric Boom thought that he can maybe swing that in favor by going for a cheeky peek out middle. And Maple, why? Why?
Add it to the Twitter thread. There's a whole montage of those teammates coming through and Maple take down Eric. Forces out a 1v3. Maple's got the boomstick. Got the bomb, but he's just going to get run out. He has all three players from two different doorways. Oh, little fist bump there. It's okay. He won the first 2 rounds, but ESGxRokkr seemingly gifted this 3v2.
It is hilarious, isn't it? It's so funny the amount that it happens.
Just flood on in there.
Where was he even going? I presume maybe through the closed doors is where he was trying to aim it, but just like, I don't know, because the nade leaves your hand a little bit too late in this game. Maybe that was the problem there for Maple. Either way, round for ESG. They've got themselves on the board here. Big game of search and destroy. And it looks like it's going to be a bit of a weird play coming out from ESGxRokkr. Channeling their inner Boston Academy here for this play, trying to batter across towards B. It is being watched like a hawk from at least 2 players from Notorious. Fame trying to get those shots in, but nowhere near as successful as Boston Academy on that play.
Losing GodRx is huge. Now the defense can just post up. Let's expect the Chow to maybe come through the double windows, through single. You have a lot of players playing around this closed door. Maple's got the sniper. Fame probably saw the glint. Should be aware of this. Nades are going to be negated ever so slightly, but Fame still eats one in the back.
Things looking pretty good off the back of those kills. Panda for an incredible 1 versus 4. This would well be one of the plays of the tournament if he could pull it off. But you're asking for a lot. He's already been tagged up. He's got no map positioning whatsoever, and it only takes 1 peek for Notorious to finish that off. The advantage remains 2 rounds.
A good bounce back after the unfortunate team nade and fiasco that unfolded on their offense. And again, finding that first blood onto GodRx over by the bench by proxy gives you the information that nobody's channeling through bottom single. You haven't seen a sole top single in quite some time. So they're all probably playing around the side door in the back stairs, trying to still execute over towards A after finding little to no value through the middle of the map. So good job by Team Notorious to be able to dissect that information off of the line of sights that they were holding and just fly in towards the side and find the kills. Lickety split. 2-round lead, as you were saying here, Brody. Team Notorious back on offense.
Notorious looking for a win towards the side. They found it, to be fair. Metals is going to eat an A to the face as the trophy system right in front of him will blow it up. But that should be a second kill. Happens a little bit off screen as Fame tries to enter into the bolt to the bomb site. And elsewhere, Weeman, would you believe it, 5-1 in this search and destroy so far, has got yet another frag. Looking to pull a rabbit out of the hat now if you're GodRx and Panda, the duo that have been together for almost 2 years now at this point, and you're just not likely to get it done. Panda for the 1v3 is going to get 1 as they exit the bomb site, but Eric Boom from behind will shut them down. Notorious just need 2 more.
Inching their way towards a championship victory. Eric Boom is laughing as that bomb execute came through so fast for Team Notorious that they just isolated so many players, and even Eric in that final moment getting the better of GodRx, fully wrapping around the open and closed archway, getting his teammates trade is just so smart. So smart. 4-3, 6-3, 5-1. Maple could just convey so much information with the boomstick. It's been going on all Fortress long. ESG. A lot of focus towards bottom art here, Brody. They might just fly out from bottom single, but it's going to be a crossfire and a half that they'd be running into.
I know from previous efforts where Notorious are mostly going to be located. Trying to find a way to play around that, be malleable. Eric Boom, looking for first engagement, finds it in his favor, gets traded out though. Very hard to escape in that situation. But again, it unnerves ESG in this scenario. They still are not going to feel comfortable enough to get the bomb down. GodRx tries to fly towards the middle of the map. Unfortunately, he's not the bomb carrier at least.
Player number 6, Panda, is getting proactive. Starting to look towards that mid lane. Fame up top, pops dead silence. He's looking to make moves. This would be a bold chow at that. Doors are already open. Comes Fame though. He's silent, and Panda falls in the same breath as soon as Fame tries to make a play around the open archway. Map, series, championship point for Team Notorious.
One more search and destroy round lies between Notorious and a grand prize of $30,000. And of course, the title, Optic Texas Open Champions. One more. It's been incredible so far, the journey that Notorious embarked on to get to this point. See how they get on.
Offense for Team Notorious. Potentially close it out here.
It's aggressive.
It's a round one setup. ESG are in their face-o.
Got Rex for first. Maple gonna get taken down as well. There's a third. ESG refusing to die. Wee Man gets one. There's resistance from Wee Man. He's putting a lot of bullets into a lot of different ESG players and actually manages to get another one. Surely not Wee Man. Now a 1v1. A 1 versus 4 for all the marbles. Spots out the last player. Goes wide. The shots are good. Looking for it. No. Denied. That would have been the most incredible championship winning play we have ever seen in Challengers.
You got a 1v3 versus that omit roster, that Standy and Co. to be able to stay alive when they were in this bracket on a Fortress Search and Destroy map 5. Oh man, if he gets that entire ace, I absolutely lose it. One round out of time though. ESGxRokkr keeping their heads above water here in the grand finals, map 7. Still so many more rounds need to be won. And offense has been a head scratcher for them as Team Notorious have been playing standardized as ever. ESGxRokkr did offer a certain amount of aggression in that previous round. Are they going to follow suit on the offense?
ESG have had a lot of rounds to learn how Notorious played this defense. I don't think they've had a single different defensive setup, to be honest. Because why wouldn't you? It's worked 99% of the time. And ESG still haven't found a way to play around it. So far, so good for Notorious. They've burned a lot of time off this clock. Real, trying to be the playmaker in this one. Gets some information, gets out.
Just confirming, it's again a very standardized setup. The only difference is that Team Notorious don't have somebody directly on B. Sure, a lot of people are thinking with GodRx's position, he might be able to see these guys. No, he's blocked off by the truck. Space being provided. Wee Man, he hits it. He finds 2.
35 seconds. 35 seconds. Wee Man trying to get the ace, but no. GodRx will deny him the third in the round. Now 2 versus 3 here for ESG. To survive, to keep their hopes of a championship alive. They do not want to get second again. And it's not looking good. GodRx goes down. He's going to get another one here. 1v2 now. 14 seconds. There isn't really much time to realistically make this one happen. It's been 1,141 days since a European squad last won a LAN championship. And here they are again. Maple, the player who did it back then at the CDL 2020 launch weekend, does it again here. Europe is back.
Europe is back on top. Maple claims his crown once again. Your Optic Texas Open 3 champions. Congratulations to Team Notorious. They have worked hard all year long for this one moment of time. The highest placing that they've gotten all year, even individually for Eric, Metals. Good heavens, did they have themselves quite the showing. A combined 20-8 between Metals and Wee Man in this map 5 on Fortress Search and Destroy. 6-2 goes the final scoreline. It has been a long, treacherous road for them. Getting DFR'd in playoffs for Season 1 of the Elite. Not getting the finish that they wanted in Season 2. Top 16, top 12s, team changes, rosters, you name it. And they find themselves here in Texas. It's a nice day to be a European Call of Duty fan as Team Notorious take home the cup.
Call of Duty is coming home for the Europeans as they get it done. And what an incredible story it has been for Team Notorious this year so far. Smiles all around and absolutely deserved as they win $30,000. But as I said, Andy, I mean, like, look at the story for Team Notorious this year. How incredible it has been. Because it's been, I mean, like, what? At the LAN events, top 12 at the start of the season, that wasn't their fault because of what happened again with their 4th player. Boston, they're finally out in full force. Again, a top 12 placement for them. I think it might have been top 16, actually, over there. And then, you know, looking over towards the elites, top 8, top 6, it's been uncharacteristic for this team in all their placements. But finally, Notorious, not only did they exceed everything we've seen from them so far this season, bar the Challengers Cups, which are, I think, a little bit of a different caliber. They get the bloody championship, mate. The Europeans have done it. Here's how they did it. It all looks shaky again, down to those controls and the search and destroy, which frankly Electrify Steel stole away from Notorious. But they are going to reign supreme in the end.
That is absolutely absurd. EU back on top. Rokkr are frustrated. You saw it there on their camera. A few things, honestly, through the venue camera itself. I mean, how can you not be frustrated if you are Rokkr Academy? That is now back-to-back second places at Boston. Got third place at Raleigh, second place here in Texas. And that goes along with a lot of second place that came through last year as well for the core three of this roster. Obviously bringing Real, not playing with Pentagram anymore. It's just the continuation. You feel like that Pandering Godorex cannot escape since the BBG days of Cold War's past, but you have to somehow feel okay with it. But on the other side for Team Notorious, we got to give them their flowers. You saw there at the end, even the owners coming around the table, fist bumping all of ESGxRokkr. They knew how hard this battle was for them. They always fly these boys out, even picking them up last second for Raleigh, making sure that they had funding as well. Shout out to Team Notorious for giving themselves a place that they can call home and showing up with, I want to say, like 8 to 9 players, or 8 to 9 people, excuse me. I know they have a giant watch party across a multitude of different channels as well. They absolutely have a fantastic fan base behind them, and they are doing great things to put EU on the map. 4-3, the final scoreline. It had to go to the distance because, of course, it did. Team Notorious, your Texas champions.
Here's how they did it. Of course, it was an absolute battle. From the lower bracket they come. They lost 3-1 in that upper bracket final. They came out cold. We noted that straight away. Again, some of the usual suspects that we expect to perform well in the series just didn't. It really was that simple. Of course, their earlier matchups versus LAG Academy and Omen Mexico. Of course, there's a long bracket before what we see on screen as well. Rokkr not going to get it done despite fighting pretty hard. 2 Game 5s to Team Berserk and Millennium 7 prior towards that victory to Team Notorious. And then, of course, the lower bracket as well. We should probably take a look at that because it has been a bit of a crazy one, I think. The most notable thing, I think, just in the lower bracket, generally speaking, is the fact that Boston Academy did make that incredible run. Again, you're only seeing like a part of it here to get towards Notorious, but Notorious to end it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just insane to see how well Boston actually were able to shape up this weekend, right? I honestly didn't even have them beating Aphelion last night. They deliver. Map 5 versus LAG Academy I thought was going to be pretty good for LAG Academy. They deliver. And then beating Millennium 7. And again, in another Game 5, it takes the European champions of Team Notorious to take them out of commission, only losing the control along the way, which is still weird to me to say. That Team Notorious were struggling with control all weekend long, but if that's the only map that you drop along the way to solidify yourself, get into Grand Finals again versus ESGxRokkr and to win the rematch in a best-of-7, then that's just fine with me, Brody. Unbelievable weekend.
Incredible. I'm so happy mailing into here. As I've said it a lot and I'll continue to say it again. This Optic Texas Open has been the best Call of Duty Challenges event we've had in a very long time. We've had a lot of good events over the course of the last few months and years. Here's a look at our final 8 placements then, with all the money attached to those names. Just want to spend a couple of minutes here really on this one because I want to talk about kind of how the top 8 looks. A European squad and Team Notorious are going to sit atop the pile with that $30,000. But from the bottoms of the top here, there's some interesting kind of names, right? Twisted Theory, Aphelion Esports with almost new rosters coming into this event, rounding out that top 8. NRK Anarchy, Cruz and Dak in top 6 again. LAG Academy couldn't quite break the top 6 curse here.
No, they couldn't, and it's even more impressive because where's Decimate? That's your Season 2 champion from North America. They lost to what is half of Lenave Del Mysterio, Parasite, and Beagle. They're not on this graphic. Team Notorious at top. These were the teams to watch. You can see how all of the top 16 unfolded. Funny enough that we offered that top 16 were going to be the teams to watch. And, well, these are your top 16 teams at the end of the weekend regardless. It is upset city here in Grand Finals as Team Notorious take the championship cup home. Eric, Maple, Metals, Wee Man, got to be feeling pretty darn good. I'm sure the celebration tonight is going to be a big one.
Yeah, and one of the things we noted again with this top 16 teams is we kind of talk about those big upsets. We look towards the top 3 over towards Season 2 of North American Challengers Elite, and all of those 3 rosters were eliminated significantly earlier than we expected them to. Top 16 for Convoy Gaming and for Hype T Sports, top 12 for Decimate Gaming as well. Even Smog Alpha, the number 4 from Season 2 of Challengers Elite. They were out in top 16 as well. I think it is a massive shake-up of the power rankings, if there were any anyway. How we consider kind of what everything looks like, right? And for Celestial, I don't want to rub it in because it is kind of harsh, but we have to say it. It's so tough for them because they get another second place. They have been the most consistent team this season, and they still could not get that LAN championship. Yes, they won Season 1 of Challengers Elite. That one's still going to sting.
Consistency is key, I guess, when it comes down to LAN performances. You don't want to fall off too much, but 3, second, and then second again. As far as the opens are concerned, they're going to have to wait a little bit of time because I believe Toronto is going to be the next one for them. Obviously, Elite Season 3 happening much sooner than that, but still a lot of time for this team to be able to get things back into championship form. I'm sure that this is not the last we will see of them.
Absolutely. Well, Team Notorious are our champions here for the Call of Duty Challengers Optic Texas Open presented by Perifio. Congratulations to the European squad as they will take it home. The Europeans win an event for the first time since the launch weekend, the very first event of the entirety of Call of Duty Challengers. It has been an incredible event here with upsets galore. Certainly things have shaken up as we get well into our second set of LAN events, of elites in towards the second half of the year. Everything's looking pretty good. Next event, moving up here, we've got Season 3 of Challengers Elite. The qualifiers starting on March 22nd, and then of course Season 3 begins on 29th of March. If you guys want more Call of Duty Challengers action, for any more of that, we'll see you guys there. Thank you to everybody for tuning in this weekend.